Hello. Well, I'm attempting to do some knitting tonight, but it may not work. I'm having hand issues, so we shall see how we get on. Let me see what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to knit 11 in colour A. Hi, Diane. You'll have to excuse me. I'm trying to do some knitting. I don't think it's going to work, but I just cast on and did some rib. It took me forever. Hi, Ephraim. It took me forever to do the tiniest little bit of rib. So we're joking here. We're trying. How am I? I'm peed off, to be quite truthful with you, because I'm fed up with not being able to do anything and having hand issues, and the dogs have been bark. So I do apologise in advance, because Rosie is on one tonight. So she's bound to start barking at any given minute. So apologies already before we even start. Yeah. Great. Right, what colour? You're trying to use wiggle? Oh, I can't use them. I can't knit anyway at the minute, but wiggle worms, definitely not. Right, what is colour A? Colour A is green. Well, it's sort of green. Grey. Oh, this is a good start. I can't even unwind the wool. It's hurting. I'm going to try and do a bit of knitting. Hi, Christine. I'm trying to do some knitting, but it's killing me. I can't even switch the light switch on. When I went to the loo, I couldn't even switch the bathroom light switch on with my left hand. I couldn't put the pressure on to switch the light on. I thought, oh, this is just ridiculous. And I've got 5 more weeks of it. Oh, just sort of say I am fed up is putting it mildly. But we have to continue, don't we, and press on. Right, knit 11 in A. This is A, so I'm knitting 11. Very, very slowly. Not on any worms, Ephraim, not on any worms. I was going to try and learn to do some Tunisian, but yeah, I haven't been able to do anything. I'm managing to do it very slowly. It's going to drive me mad. Hello, Dotty Dolly. I'm going to be going crazy. Crazy. And if the dogs start barking, I'll be going even more crazy. Yeah, they've gone to some kind of a rock festival in Carlisle. And they haven't taken the caravan, so they haven't taken not the caravan, the camper van. So they haven't taken the dogs. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. One more. Oh, this is not going to work, this. Right. You've paused. Oh, I can't stand that programme. The one I hate more than that is 4 in a Bed, where they go around criticising. Oh, I'm using the wrong darn colour. I'm doing a front. Oh. I'm supposed to be using colour D, not colour A. So I have to tink this one back again. I started reading the back and I knew I couldn't do the back because it's got 5 colours in it. Oh, 4 in a Bed, I hate it. Snooping about, looking in people's cupboards, criticising, sneaking under the beds and looking under the pillows. Makes me angry. I can't stand it. The pattern I'm working on, I'm trying to work on, Ephraim, trying. I'll show you in a minute when I've untinked this little bit. I started with the wrong colour. Because I'm not doing the back at the minute because it's got 4 colours on the back. Oh, you like me flashing flowers, do you? That was a present from my son about 5 Christmases ago. He hates them, but I love them. Don't know why he bought them for me if he hates them. Oh, sugar bush. Dropped a flipping stitch and I can't pick it up. Hi, Chris. If you don't hear any swear words from me tonight, it'll be a miracle, I'm telling you. I'll be getting a YouTube naughty girl message. Because I'm struggling. Oh, struggling is what I am doing. Right, I'll show you my pattern in a minute, Ephraim, when I get this, cut this green off, because I'm not supposed to be using green. Right. Pause. I started with green and I'm not supposed to be starting with green. I would have been starting with green if I was doing the back, but I'm doing a front. Right. What am I doing? Well, when I can get in the pattern. I'm doing the one at the bottom. That one. But not in those colours because I haven't got those colours in oddments. Right, here we go. Left front. Knit 11 in 11 in D and 14 in E. Right, 11 in E. What's E? I've made it so many times, but always, I've usually made it in dark colours. What did I say? D? Oh, do you know this is going to be a joke? This is D and E. I'm trying to knit tonight because I can't use my wrists for crocheting. So I'm trying my best with a little bit of baby knitting because I haven't been able to do anything all week and it is driving me bonkers. I cannot sit and watch telly and not do anything. Right, here we go. D and E. Pink and blue. Right. I've got a great strap thing on it. Strap. But it's still... I can't knit free, Ephraim. I just cannot. I've tried and tried. But I have to have one needle under my arm. So I just cannot. No, I can't continental knit. I've tried. It's so slow for me. And I stopped doing it halfway through and start doing the ordinary knitting. And of course, it looks different. So I've tried and tried over them years, many times to do continental knitting, but it just eludes me. When you've been doing it so many years, it's hard to chuck in a different method, you know. If you learn continental knitting, I suppose it works, doesn't it? But I'm a thrower. No, I can't do this hooking business through, and especially the purl. I cannot do the purl stitch. I've done it. I have done it, Dotty Dolly, but I don't like doing it. Let's just say it goes against the grain. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right at all. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Hey, I got it right. I got it right. I got it right. It's just alien. Well, it is alien, isn't it? It's continental. That's alien to me. If it isn't UK, it's alien. I was laughing at Sheila and she was going, I can't understand why there's all these different names in America for the crocheting. Yeah. She says, why do they have to do it differently? I've said that many, many times before. Who changed it? Who changed it? Somebody changed it somewhere along the line. If people came over on the Mayflower and they came from England, they would have been knitting and crocheting the English way. So who changed it? Yeah. Oh, I can have a moan about the weather. The weather's dreadful. We actually had a bit of snow the other day, but because we're so close to the sea, it doesn't stick. But the weather has been abysmal. I am so sick to death of being cold. Yeah, why does it have to be different? Who decided to change it? Who said, right, they call it a treble, we're going to call it a double? Who said that? I don't mind so much. It's being shouted at by Americans who tell me I'm doing it wrong. And I'm like, excuse me. We were in the UK long before they thought about you in America. So, oh, this is going to be a joke, this. This is going to be a joke. Hi, Craft It So. Oh, Craft Kint So. Sorry, I read it as Craft Knit So. Oh dear. Oh, this is going to be fun. I've only done that much and I'm already fed up. Yeah, the family are not coming back till tomorrow tea time. So I've got the girls tonight again. I don't mind Rosie. She does her own thing apart from barking at anything and everything. But Trixie has to sleep with me. And I wouldn't mind if she just slept on the bed and she laid still. But no, she does like she's in the guards, you know, the march. Usually on me. Did my son ever? Oh, I think so, yeah. I think he did. He never tells me anything. Never tells me a thing, so I think so. What kind of dogs are we've got? A French bulldog who's a pain in the ass, and we have got a Romanian rescue dog who barks and barks and barks and barks and barks and barks because she's got barking Tourette's. And when she starts barking, she won't shut up, no matter how much you yell at her. And all I get off my son is, put her barking collar on. Well, this rescue from Romania's got a bit of lurcher in her. Obviously, she's a 57 variety. Well, let's hope my camera doesn't go. I've been having internet problems all week, so I will warn you, I suddenly disappear. It's been cutting itself off all week. Coming back on for 5 minutes and cutting itself off again, so I'm not holding out a lot of hope for tonight. I don't know what it is. My friend's on a different provider and she's having the same problem, so it's a bit weird, isn't it? Rosie likes to be outside a lot. She won't stay outside, but my friend used to have a husky that wouldn't come in. And he loved it when it snowed. But she could never have the central heating on when she had that husky because he used to overheat. Oh, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is going to go whizzing. No, it is not. I'll finish this row, but it is not going to work at all. Oh, I just thought knitting might work. but obviously not. Hi, Isaac. Oh, Lord above. You need 2 hands for every craft. No matter what you do, you need 2 hands. Chili cream. I've used some stuff I've got from the GP that's supposed to be. And that doesn't work. I've used some udder cream with peppermint, and that works on my knee, but it don't work on the hand. The only thing that works briefly on my hand is if I stick it in quite hot water and leave it in hot water till it warms up. And that lasts about 5 minutes, and then the pain comes back again. So this knitting is going because I can't do it. It's going on the floor. This is going to be an exciting night, isn't it? When you can't do a thing. Oh yeah, the fibre. I nearly forgot them. Yeah. Right. All the colours are going on the floor, which means I'll have to move them before I go to bed. Otherwise, the dogs will have them all around the garden. See, picking that up, it's just dirty. I can't do that to pick anything up. It's like a really bad sprain, and I can't feel the ends of my fingers, so I can't pick anything up or do anything. So that's why I am fed up with my little self. So I'm going to drink my coffee. And have a whinge. Well, everybody else has a whinge. Why shouldn't I have a whinge? I watched some videos and they're whinging all the way through it. Oh, nothing there. Oh, no, I haven't got a thumb splint. This gizmo goes all the way down my arm. It's got a big metal plate right from there all the way down to there to stop you bending. And but it's not got a thumb bit. Could do with a thumb bit. Yeah, it's like having a cramp all the time, yeah. No, I managed to light the fire with one hand. I did it. Got the heating on as well. I'm not being cold. I cannot do with being cold. If I'm cold, my arthritis kicks up like mad. That's a joy of getting old, isn't it? I've got osteoporosis and stenosis in my neck. Oh, God, I sound like a whinge fest, don't I? Well, whatever you're telling me you've got, I've probably got it as well, so. I just hope I don't fall. That's my biggest fear, is falling. Because I could break something if I fall. Because I've got skinny bones, yeah. That's what worries me when I fall. I fall a lot. But when I fall, I'm like, oh, please don't let me break anything. I don't go upstairs, thank goodness, anymore. I'm going to put my hand in my pocket. That keeps it warmer. I've got my fleece on today. My nice warm, thick fleece today. Don't care what I look like, I'm being warm. Yeah, if I put my hand, my pocket's all got this fleece inside it. You've got knits? No, I haven't got any knits. I haven't had knits since I was about 7 or 8, I think. That was the last time I got knits. You got a nasty bruise on your bum? I've got a big bruise on my boob, thanks to little Miss Trixie with a big heavy paw. You wouldn't think a little dog like that could do your big bruise on your boob, would you? Well, you could have had a bruise on your BTM, couldn't you, as well, Chris? I bruise so easily. My son, well, a couple of years ago, he just got hold of me like that to move me. He grabbed both my arms, one either side, just to move me. And the following day, I had these finger marks on both hands. And he didn't press that hard. He didn't, it wasn't an assault or anything like that. All he did was grab me and move me because I was in his way. And I said, "Oh, you've done." And he goes, "I haven't done that. Don't be daft." And I had perfect handprints, one on either. Oh, I just bruise so easily. Yeah. Well, I've had a guy replying to my comments in my last video saying that my title wasn't very good, and that's why I'd got no views. I said, "Excuse me, I've got 255 views. What do you mean?" And he keeps sending me messages now. "You have not replied to my message." I thought, no, and I'm not going to either. He's over in Pakistan somewhere. You don't know what they want, and you don't really want to know, because if they want money, they're out of luck. Ain't got none. I can only use. You didn't understand the comment. What about my title? I don't know what he meant. Something about my title wasn't good or something. That's why I didn't have any views. That's why I had 0 views, when actually I had 225 or 255 views or something. I just said thank you to him and left it at that. He's messaged me on WhatsApp. I haven't answered him. And he's messaged me on my Urban Gypsy page, and I've not answered him. He's a bit persistent. I don't know what the heck he wants. And then deciding which one do you like the best? No, the Urban Gypsy actually comes from a belly dancing troupe. Years ago, I was learning belly dancing, and they were called the Urban Gypsies. And I never danced with them, but I trained with them, if you know what I mean. And then my back went, so I had to do that. I think my mobile number's on the Urban Gypsy page. I've got an awful feeling it's on there. So that's probably why he's managed to message me on there. But I'm not answered him, and I'm not answering him. He does sound a bit like a scammer. He's obviously after something, isn't he? And if it's money, well, he's out of luck, isn't he? Because I ain't got any. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I loved belly dancing. I was sad when my back just went completely and I had to give it up. I'd started it because somebody had said it was a good exercise if you've got a moderately bad back, because you're like waving, making your back supple, aren't you, when you're doing all the movements? And I did. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. I was never good enough to dance with the Urban Gypsies. They were actually on Britain's Got Talent many years ago. They totally sort of bamboozled, what's he called? Simon Cowell. Because one girl, she's a very big girl, and she has got very big, and she was shaking them about everywhere. And he was fascinated with this boobs, yeah. Hi, Val. You haven't missed a lot. No, I was trying to do some knitting, but I've had to give it up. My hand was, yeah. Hi, Nathan. Oh, dear. If you hear any snoring in the background, I have not got a man in. It's Trixabel. She's snoring. Can you not hear her? It was a family wool shop. My mum opened the first one when I was 11. Um, and that first one was in Chadderton, and we lived behind it and above it. It was like a house with a shop at the front of it. And we stayed in that. Um, well, we lived in it until I got married, but we'd actually opened another shop in the meantime in Moston, on Moston Lane. So we had two shops. And then after I got married and my son was growing up a little bit, we then opened a third shop in Royton. So for a long, long time, we had three shops. And then, my mum and dad got older and recession was hitting a bit. So we decided to go down to two shops. So we sold the Moston shop because I'm not being awful to anybody who lives in Moston, but the area was going downhill and there was a lot of vandalism and we got broken into a couple of times and we thought, no, we'll get out of here. So we then went, we had to get rid of the Chadderton shop because they were compulsory purchasing it. Got rid of the Moston shop, so we finished up with one in Royton on the precinct. And then the landlord was being a real biatch, yeah. He just kept putting the rent up, and not doing any repairs. Does it sound familiar? And then the council tax and everything was going up. And then they were putting tax on everything that you bought. The VAT was going on everything and that. So we closed that one and went across the road in a little shop. And by this time, my dad was ill and my mum was ill. So there was just me. I'd got divorced. My ex-husband wanted money out. He wanted me to buy him out of half of the house. So then my dad died and my mum couldn't cope. So I finished up, I had to sell the last one. So that was very sad. So we went from 3 to 2 to 1. So I was in the wool shop. I ran one of the wool shops from being, I was in it from being 11, of course. Obviously, I was at school. But I used to still do Saturday jobs there and do all the chores. So I've been in wool trade from 11 up to being in my 50s. And then it had to get sold. So there I was, on my own, divorced, no money coming in, 2 mortgages, didn't know what to do. Finished up with a job in a perfume warehouse and hated it. And then finished up in the Department of Works and Pensions, and I hated that even more. But I stuck it out for 12 years, and then I retired. Yeah. Yeah, I've only got 13 thumbs up, and there's 32 people in the room. So I'm not naming any names, but somebody's not giving me a thumbs up. Oh, my background, yeah. I've always been in a crafty. My dad was, oh gosh, everybody loved my dad because he was funny, unconsciously funny. He didn't tell jokes. He didn't tell smutty jokes. He was just one of those kind of people. He'd have been good as a comedian, as a heckler. If a heckler had heckled him, he was, he was very quick with the repartee. Yeah, I certainly have not got my mum's sense of humour because she didn't have one. She never saw a joke at all. She never laughed at a joke. She always wanted explaining to her. By the time you'd finished explaining to her, it wasn't funny anymore. You know what I mean? You try explaining a joke. If people don't get it, it like falls flat, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It just doesn't work. Yeah. I've got a bit of my dad's sense of humour. I always make people laugh because people always say, "Oh my God, you're so funny, John." And I think, am I? Am I? I don't try to be funny. It just happens. And like my dad, I can laugh at myself. Some people can't. Some people get very uptight if something goes wrong and they can't see the funny side, whereas I do. Yeah. I see the funny side of myself, yeah. I have to, don't I, really? Hi, Connie. You have to see the funny side, otherwise life's, life is dreadful, isn't it, if you can't see the funny side? Things that go wrong, I mean, everything I've got that's wrong with me, I have to see the funny side, because if I didn't, I'd just cry. And I don't feel like crying. I just don't feel like doing that. And I don't feel like whinge. Oh, woe is me. Oh, look at me. Oh, grumble. So you have to see the funny side, When you get up, and you can't walk, and you're like, hang on a minute. Give me a minute. Uncle Arthritis is not obeying me at the moment. It'll be all right in a minute. When it gets a bit of WD-40, you have to make a joke, don't you? You have to go on, otherwise you don't want people to be feeling sorry for you all the time, do you? Yeah, if you can't laugh at yourself. Some people can't. They're so far up themselves, aren't they, that they think they're it, and they cannot laugh at themselves, You have to find life funny. Yeah, WD-40, I could do with a. I said to them when they did my knee, I went back, I said, you should have put a porthole in it. He said, what for? I said, for the WD-40. I said, because whatever it's lubricated, it's not working. I said, the metal's going, it's not going like. When they show you on the model, when you go before you have your knee up, and they show you this thing, don't they? And they show it, you're going like that, silent. And then they put it in you, and it goes, and sometimes it goes, and it stops, and you have to go to get your knee to go again. They don't tell you that bit. I think I had a duff mechanism. I can actually hear it. It's like gears grinding on your knee when you stand up. Yeah, I am like the tin woman because I've got a tin knee. I call it my fake knee, my tin knee, and I've got a tin back as well. Yeah. The last time I had a scan, the nurse says to me, "Oh, you've got such an impressive array of metalwork in your body," and I went, "Have I?" I said, "Is it cute?" Oh dear. When I went to the airport, I said, do I have to go through the ordinary scanner? I said, or do I have to go through the other scanner? Because I've got all this metal like in my body and that. And they said, oh, right. Well, we think it's titanium. It shouldn't set the alarm off. But because you're in a wheelchair, which I was because I couldn't walk in the, airports are like 4.5 miles to take off, yeah. So I asked for a wheelchair. So they said, because you're in a wheelchair, you have to go in this special bit. So I went through with the crew. I was there with my pilot and my air stewardesses. I went through with them. So they knew me before I even got on the plane, which was quite handy. I am titanium, yeah. I could be worth a bit, couldn't I? It could be fun if I'm going to be cremated when I pass away. I wonder if they have to take it out first. I don't think it'll blow the crematorium up with it. What a lovely subject. Do they have to take the fake bits out before they stick you in the oven? Oh, my screen just went dark then. Oh, it's gone lighter now. Oh, you have to laugh, don't you? Ooh. Yeah, they might be able to sell it on the open market. I've got no gold, so they can't sell me gold. I sold that ages ago. When I moved in here, I had my wedding ring and God knows what else that I never wore. Yeah. My ex-husband would be really peed off because we paid about £50 for my wedding ring and I got £600 for it. It paid for my fire. Oh, the fire's still in. It looks like it's going. Yeah. Yeah, I cashed it all in. I thought there's no point. Keep it in your purse. Somebody breaks in the house and steals it. Why should they have my money for my gold? I might as well get it myself, mightn't I? You sold direct. No, mine was a 22 carat gold wedding ring, and it was the time when you had, knuckle dusters. It was about that big. It weighed 9 grams, was it? 9 grams. And it was so much a gram, so it came up to be £600 for one wedding ring. It was in very good condition. There was no scratches on it because I hardly ever wore it, to be truthful. It was so big that whenever I put my hands in water, if I didn't take my ring off and dry underneath it to put it back on again, I used to get that dermatitis, under my wedding ring. So it was off more than it was on, to be quite truthful. So it was in pristine condition when it was sold. And obviously, when I got separated, I took my wedding ring off, and I never wore it. So I can't even I can't even open the crisps. Hang on, I'll get my scissors. It's a beggar, isn't it, when you can't even pop a bag of crisps? I still haven't got my injections yet. The old Zempic that all the fatties in Hollywood are buying. I've watched 2 YouTube videos about it, saying it's got so many side effects if it's not used properly. I got mine from Mewers. It's called Mewers. I got my engagement ring from Samuels, H. Samuels. And but my wedding ring, I got it from Mewers. It was on the corner. It's not there now. It was near where the bomb went off in Manchester, yeah. My friend bought an engagement ring and a wedding ring at the same time, so that the wedding ring had a dip in it to fit with the engagement ring. It wasn't you that was running down the street, but there was a bride in the newspaper on the day the bomb went off, running down the street with her groom running behind her. Apparently that marriage didn't last, so it didn't do them any good. Must have been an omen. Because somebody asked many years later, who is this couple? Are they still together? No. I was married on the 10th of August, 1968. 56 years ago, I think that is it. I can't do sums. I used to be a whiz at mental arithmetic. It's all gone to pot now. I think it's 56 years ago I got married. But I was only actually married legally married for about 34 years, but actually married about 22 or 3, I think. I don't write dates down. I don't think of things like that. I'm going to say to you, when was your back operation? Haven't got a clue. When did you have your knee operation? Haven't got a clue. I don't write things down. I don't have a diary. I can't tell you these days. I don't know when I got divorced. I haven't got the divorce papers. I know birthdays, my wedding day, my son's birthday, his wedding day, because he got married on the same day as my mum and dad got married, obviously a different year, but he got married on the same day my mum and dad did. It was my dad's birthday yesterday. He would have been 113, I think. I don't know how old he was when he died. I think he was in his 80s. I can't remember. I've got his death certificate somewhere. But I haven't got my mum's, so I can't remember when she died. Chimney sweep's coming next week. I've only got one dog. I don't know where the other's gone. I wasn't in Manchester the day that the bomb went off, but I was in Manchester the day Woolworths went up. What am I making tonight? Nothing. I tried to do a little bit of knitting. I can't do it because of my hand. Now, I was in Manchester the day Woolworths blew up. I was just walking across the road to go in there. If it had been 5 minutes earlier, I'd have been in there. My God, it went up. What? I couldn't hear for about a week. It blew my ears. Yeah, March 22nd, but I'm down for a cancellation if one comes available before then, because that's 5 weeks away and my hand's killing me. I don't know. Everybody thought it was a bomb because it wasn't long after the bomb. What it was somebody had left a cigarette, and it was before the days of flame retardant sofas and stuff. And a sofa was smouldering and smouldering and smouldering, and then it suddenly went into flames, but it was in the window display. So it blew the window out. So it went boom. So it sounded just like a bomb going off. And I was just walking across the road at the time, just waiting for the traffic to stop so I could walk into Woolworths. Oh my God, and I thought it was a bomb, and it went boom. Couldn't hear a thing. It blasted the ears. I'm sure I've never been the same since. Who's sending me messages? Lizzie says she'll be on in an hour. Oh, there's snow in them there hills in Oldham. What on earth? All them messages. Where do they suddenly arrive from? I don't wish to know what's happening in Ukraine. I usually get like earthquakes in India or something. Yeah? Oh, do you think they've been saying that for ages though? Craft, I'll call you Craft. I wish it would do, but I don't think it ever will. Everybody remembers Woolworths Pick and Mix, yeah. I don't watch the news anymore, but I get stupid updates come on my phone with like headlines, which I just ignore. I just zip them. Yeah, it's what used to happen. When you think about it, how unhygienic everybody was coughing all over them, weren't they? Everybody putting their grubby hands in. Because they weren't wrapped up sweets, were they? We were made of sterner stuff back in the day, though, weren't we? We ate more germs. Good evening, Shad. Oh, my necklace. I'll have to show you my right hand. There it is. All glass beads. It's hiding underneath my fleece tonight because I was cold. It's like those salad bars, isn't it, as well? You used to have salad bars where you could help yourself. I think all that stopped with COVID and that, yeah. I'm having trouble with my phone now. It's not giving me messenger messages for some people. It is for some others, but not for some. Adam and the Ants. My first vinyl was Paul Anka. I can't remember what he was singing now, but it was Paul Anka. And my second one was Marty Wilde, Teenager in Love. And then my dad sat on it because it was a 78. My dad never looked what was on a chair before he sat down. So he just sat down on my 78. It cracked in half. I tried sticking it together with sellotape, but it was never the same. Herman's Hurt. I can't remember I think my first album would have been the Everly Brothers, I think. I used to listen to my brother's albums, but he liked jazz, and I wasn't into modern jazz. He did buy the West Side Story, and he did used to listen to that a lot. And he had some by Frank Sinatra as well. But he was really into Miles Davis and people like that, modern jazz. I wasn't into that. My dad used to like Ackerbilk and Mrs. Mills. Hi, Katie. Peter Noon, is he still alive out of Herman Service? I can't remember. So many people have died, I can't keep up with who's alive and who's dead. What are you doing? What are you doing? I've dropped a crisp about the size of a pinhead, and she's found it. You don't need a Hoover. What you sniffling at? What are you getting at? What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on round here. Grandma can't put her feet round there because you've got your body there. You won't find any more just because I dropped a bit of a crumb. Oh, she's gone back on the chair now. She's hoovered up a bit of crisp that I dropped. How could you hear a little minute bit of crisp fall on the floor? I've got carpet. How can you hear it? She did, obviously. Right, I'm going to open my dandelion and burdock with my fishy bottle opener. That was my mummy's. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, that's hurting. I've tried doing exercises with it. I've tried doing all sorts, but it doesn't work. The only thing that works is hot water, but you can't have your hand in a bowl of hot water all night long, can you? It's about the only time I like washing up. We don't have a bath anymore. We have a hot tub, but I'm not going outside. It's too flipping cold. But we don't have a bath in here. We've only got a shower. We don't even have a washing up bowl, so I can put my hand in a washing up bowl. You lost me for a few minutes. Well, I never went anywhere. It's probably the internet again. Stupid, stupid internet. I think they're messing about with one of the masts around here. But my friend went off and she's not on the same provider as I am, so I don't know why her internet's gone off as well. Oh, do you know, I can't even open my Mars bar. See how bad it is. I couldn't open the dog food. You couldn't find Lift in the shop today. Lift. I don't think I've had Lift. What is Lift? Is that lemon? Lemon? No. I know Lilt. Oh, Lilt. Yeah, not Lift. Lilt. I usually have cola or, diet cola thing or diet orange. Oh, the dandelion and burdock is on a Saturday. I think you put Lilt before. I read it as Lift. I thought, what's Lift? I was thinking of that lemon tea stuff. What was that called? My friend drinks lemon tea. When we go to the library, you can have coffee. But she takes her own lemon tea because they have hot water that you make your coffee with. So she takes her own lemon tea. There's just one, Katie, my left one. My right one's okay. I had that one done years ago. But this one's got its strap that comes all the way up here. Just try to stop me bending my wrist. Because when I bend it like that, it just goes completely dead, the whole of it. It's like it traps. I can't wait. 5 weeks it'll be before I have it done. 22nd of March. Unless somebody cancels, please let them cancel. That's my heated glove. It looks like a boxing glove. Put it in the microwave. I look like I'm going to the heavyweight championship of the world, don't I? A hot mitt, it says, hot mitts. But it's so heavy. It's really heavy. When I ordered it, I didn't think it'd be that big. I've got a pair as well, yeah. You stick them in the microwave for a minute. So if you put them in any longer, you can't put your hand in. It's too hot, yeah. Mickey Mouse hand, yeah. It reminds you of those big hands that people, when they go to basketball, is it baseball or something, when they have them big hands. Yay! That's what it reminds me of. But it's heavy. It's too heavy. They could have made it half the size of that and it would have been fine. When I ordered it online and you don't think to look at dimensions, do you, or anything like that? And I thought it would just fit my hand. I didn't think it would be like 3 times the size of my hand. I do that at night sometimes, stick it under my armpit. Under my boob. When I had boobs, that was. I don't have them the same now. I used to have big boobs. You can stick it under your boob, can't you? Get it warm. I don't know. I don't drink lemon tea. I know she brings a little sachet with her to the library and puts her hot water in it. I did try it once upon a time, but it was before they did the no sugar. They just did the ordinary Lipton's lemon tea, and it was really sweet. It was like saccharin. Ooh. But I believe they do the no sugar one now. Yeah. I filled in a great long form. Oh my God, it was pages and pages long. You know, what's your ethnicity? Can you list all your medications? Can you do this? Can you do that? Will you accept a cancellation? Yes, please. Can you come in at short notice? Do you have any holidays booked? No holidays booked. Can come in at short notice, yeah. I mean, when I had this one done, it was painful on the wound side, but instant relief on the fingers. Absolutely. It's like somebody freed it up. But this one is much, much worse. I got told off by the specialist. He said I'd left it too long. I haven't got my passport. With all this happening with my hand and that, I haven't bothered. They'll probably go to Spain on their own. Or leave me with the doggies. Well, they're probably going to be going March or April, so it's difficult for me to say. So I don't think I'll be going. Not this year, anyway. I'm hoping to get to see Sue, you know, in Scotland. My son and daughter-in-law have got some people in Scotland, not too far away from where Sue is. So if they could take me up, say, on a Friday, I'd stay with Sue or stay in a B&B near Sue. And then they could pick me up and we'd come back on the Monday. Then I could have like a long weekend with Sue. Because Sue works a few days, yeah. I'll take my camera, but I don't know whether that'll happen or not. I won't be able to upload it until I come back home. She was supposed to ring me today, but I got a message from her saying she was having trouble with her phone. When I tried to ring her, it just said she couldn't come to the phone. I had to leave a voice message. And when she tried to ring out, she couldn't ring out. She was able to send me a message on WhatsApp, but she couldn't use the phone. So she's going to try again tomorrow. So I might get to speak to her tomorrow. My eldest niece is still house hunting. Yeah, he could probably do my hand, couldn't he, while I was up there? He could operate on me. You know, he could put me a rubber block on one hand and operate on the other one with that knife. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's the hoof GP. He operates on, obviously, cows and bulls' hooves when they've got something wrong with them, and when they can't walk, they've got a nail in or something, or they've got dermatitis or something. So he does this video channel, and he lives right next to where Sue lives. It's called the Hoof GP. I never thought I would like watching you know, cows having their hooves trimmed, but he's quite entertaining. He's got a very big following. But I didn't realise he lived around the corner. And also I've realised that my cousin, who I've got back in touch with, we never fell out or anything. You know, you drift away, don't you? I've got in touch with my cousin again, and he lives round the corner from Sue. So it's a very, and my son's friend lives round the corner from Sue. So she's moved to a very popular place. She lives near Wigtown, yeah. Why it's called Wigtown, I don't know. It's near Dumfries anyway. But she lives in a little place right at the back end of nowhere. But there is an Airbnb place not too far from there where I could stay, because she's in the middle of doing all this renovating. So she's hasn't got a bedroom for me. So, because her and her partner sleep in different rooms, they haven't fallen out. It's just that they both got medical problems and they like to sleep in separate rooms. So it's only a 2-bedroom bungalow. Yeah, you do, don't you, Val? Oh my God, it's terrible. If you want me to bring it in on Wednesday, if you're not away, I will. You can have a try. Oh my God, I look like, Mandy from that, what do you call it? Oh, you are awful, but I like you. Oh, did I get they are terrible. Absolutely terrible, Connie. It looks like a very bad toupee, the short one. And it's not my colour. It's supposed to be blonde and it's really dark. And I do not suit dark hair at all. It looks awful. And then the long one is like a load of hair and it like comes down. And it looks so fake. You could never, ever walk out seriously wearing it. You'd be all right if you were going to fancy dress or cosplay or something. But you could never, in all seriousness, wear it. Yeah, I'll bring them on Wednesday. You can try them on, Val. You can have a laugh. See what you look like with long blonde hair. Take a picture and show it to Eric. The short one that's not my colour. My friend says, oh my God, she said, you look like a teacher. Well, I'll put them on my dummies when I'm taking pictures of the hats. You know, the crochet hats I've got to sell. Might make the hats look nicer if they've got like this long blonde wig, you know. The short wig. Where have we gone? That's the long wig. Doesn't that look awful? Look at that. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. And the short one, I look like an old bag, an old teacher or something. Oh, that is horrible. And they look like wigs. You know, they don't even look vaguely realistic. You know, if you walked out in it, everybody, who's got me gone? You know, I mean, some wigs are realistic, but these two are not. In fact, I gave away nicer wigs that I had for my mannequin. The mannequin wigs were nicer than that. The long ones are awful, isn't it? Awful. I look like Mandy, like I said, off Dick Emery. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. And the short one is just horrible as well. It's just not my colour. If ever I want to cut my hair, stop me. Stop me. I cut it once before and I hated it. Oh, I cried and cried when I had my hair cut because I don't suit short hair at all. My hair is so flimsy that it just lies down. And even my mum, you know, said nice things about anything I did. She goes, oh my God, what did you cut your hair for? He flirted with the guy at the pub. Oh dear. I've seen some nice wigs, but they were not nice wigs. Like I said, I gave away nicer wigs that I had for my mannequin. Gave them away with the mannequin. And they were much nicer than that one. I think Lily Savage would have been an improvement on that long wig. That is terrible. We'll have a laugh on Wednesday when I go to knit club. I still haven't heard about my tyres, Val. I need to get hold of him on Monday because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't fancy, going all the way up to the library. When we went to... Oh, you should have come to the fish and chip shop on Thursday, Val. Oh, it was so funny. This guy came in. We didn't know whether it was a guy or a woman, actually. And he was like... And he had this long floor-length cape on with like a satin lining, like Dracula cape. But on his head, he had this... I thought it was like a witch's hat, but it wasn't really, because it sort of went round in a circles like that. And it went over at the top, like... And I had my back to him, and I'm like, I can't turn around. My mate's gone... and I'm like... So I sort of went to turn around. She managed to take a photograph of him. She passed it over to me. And, but, oh, Lord. And he had this assistance dog that barked and barked at everything and everybody. It was definitely not an assistance dog at all. It was bonkers, this dog. And he was at top voice telling his friend this story or other. And he was on the next table to us. Now there's a post on our local Facebook page for round here. So there's a bloke been wandering about with his face painted white, and he's got a blanket wrapped round him with teddy bears all over it, and a green like a skirt thing on, because people were trying to work out if it was a man or a woman, And he's been wandering around all day. We do have some sights. If you wonder where the nutters live, I think they live near me. Oh. And I'm not including myself in that. I know. Is that where he got to? Yeah. And then we've got another one that rides around on his wife's mobility scooter. It's not his. And he goes at full pelt. He must have had it souped up somehow or another, because he goes, and he has this tacky, awful, trashy music blaring away. And if you get in his way, he swears at everybody, and he goes bombing down the road and shouting at everybody. We do get we have our share of funnies, And I used to live next to the mental hospital. I had less trouble there. We had a few strange people when it was the mental hospital. They'd sort of put them into the community by the time But when I first moved up into Prestwich, it was full blast, yeah. Oh, she'd have a field day, Dotty Dolly. She would have had a field day up here. Tell you. One on every corner. It's a good job I don't go on public transport, because I'm the one who gets the nutter on the bus, When everybody's, oh my God, don't sit next to me on the bus. You bet, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Well, they come sit next to me, don't they? And then they talk to me all the way to wherever I'm going. And everybody else on the bus is like, whew, I'm glad they're not sat next to me. And they're all having a little good laughter. Yeah, she's got the nutter. Rides to Manchester used to be ever so long. Yeah. Yeah, I used to get the ones who sort of insisted on showing me all the shopping, or another one that came on with a black plastic bin bag knotted at four corners and sat next to me saying, oh, you look lovely. I bet you dressed up to go to the bingo, aren't you? And he said to me, I've really enjoyed our conversation. Which bus are you getting on the way home? I'll wait for you. I thought, no, I'm getting a taxi. I'm not going on this bus. Then I had a guy on the tram who insisted on showing me all his clothes. He never buys anything that's not made in England. And he even took his shoes off to tell me that his shoes were made in England, yeah. Are you Lizzie? I get them in the hospital as well, Katie. You try and I always take my crochet or a book, and I try to look involved, and they still talk to me. They still tell me everything that, what are you here for, Or say, just an eye checkup, Oh, and then they start telling you about these operations where they have, you're like, please, I don't want to know, just please call them in before me, or please call me in now. Beam me up, Scotty. My ex-husband used to say, your face is too friendly. He said, you smile. I said, yeah, well, I was taught, when you've been in customer service and, in a shop or anything like that, you naturally always smile at people. You always greet them. Not that the shop assistants today do that. They glower at you, don't they? But, my dad always used to say, look, welcoming, smile. So I tended to smile at people as they're going past, and my ex-husband said, that's where you go wrong. A smile's an invitation. They come and talk to you then, Glare at them. Man, he had that kind of face that nobody would talk to him. He used to people. He would have won a gurning competition. Is it warm there? Well, I've got my fleece on, as you can see, because I'm flipping freezing. I've got my fleece on, the jumper on, and I've even got a little vest underneath. Got a little vest on underneath. And I've got the fire lit. It's been so cold. And I've got my bad hand stuck inside my pocket, because my pocket's fleecy, so it's keeping my fingers warm. Yeah. Maybe when I go to hospital, I should start the conversation. I should bore everybody to death. Not give them chance, I shouldn't say, what are you here for? I should start the conversation with, I'm here because of ah-da-da-da-da. And then start giving them a list of my ailments. Get in first. That's what I should do. Instead of going, and smiling politely while they talk to me. Oh, God, yeah, he had a bin bag. Imagine a black plastic bin bag on his hand, knotted in four corners. He was telling me he'd been to Aldi and Lidl. He was showing me how much he'd paid for his beans. Oh. I think it's the same seaside, yeah. I think everything's made in China or somewhere now. I always think the hairdressers must be extremely bored with everybody telling them where they're going for their holidays. Oh, yeah, I'll wear that long blonde wig next time I have to go to the hospital. They'll think I'm completely... My son has to take me, so I don't think he'd take me if I wore that wig. It's good. I hear women in the... when we used to have the dryers in the old days and you had to sit under the dryer with your curlers in for hours? I used to sit there with me knitting or my crocheting or my book. And the little old dears, they used to be, oh my God, going into personal details about Mrs. So-and-so up the road and that. Oh, I used to be there thinking, my God, because I wouldn't be old, but back in the day, I would be probably in my 30s back then, and they'd be the old dears like I am now. And they were there for the shampoo and set, and the perm and stuff, yeah. And they'd be ripping into one of their neighbours, she's no better than she should be and all that. They were like Sissy and Ada, if you remember. Les Dawson and, what was he called, that other one? And they used to do Sissy and Ada on the television. Yeah. Whenever they're talking about anything medical, they used to mime it, didn't they? Yeah, what was he called, the other one? Oh, it was Ras Dawson, and they used to be dressed up as women. I don't mean like Lily Savage dressed up. They were just like dressed up like all women. They were called Sissy and Ada. And they were always discussing the medical problems, yeah. Yeah, he was Becky Lynch's husband in Corrie. Oh, Roy Barraclough, that's the one, yeah. Sissy and Ada. They were so funny. They're actually on YouTube if you don't know what we're talking about. Just look them up. Sissy and Ada. They'd be in the doctor's waiting room or something and they'd be going there. And when they got to the bit what was actually wrong with them, they'd just memo it, wouldn't they? They wouldn't say it out loud. You know, it was like, I've come here with me. You knew what they were talking about, but they never said it out loud. It's my Bert, my Bert. Oh dear, they were so funny. You miss things like that. I don't think today's humour is quite. Well, they probably couldn't get away with it these days. Everybody's so PC, aren't they? You're frightened of saying things anymore. But the good old-fashioned humour, you know, they were funny. I'm not into today's comedians. Half the time I'm like, what are they talking about? You know, because everybody was going on about that girl who's got, is it MS or something? She was on the Royal Variety performances. She's a comedian, but obviously with having the problem she's got a speech impediment. And somebody had actually written and said they were sorry that there wasn't subtitles underneath. And oh my God, this PC brigade were going on and on and on about she's disabled, you shouldn't call her this, that, and the other. We weren't calling her. I mean, I couldn't understand her, and it was nothing to do with me being horrible about her impediment. It was just I didn't quite catch what she was saying half the time. So having like subtitles underneath would have been a great help, you know. But whispering crash, lofty. We went to a pantomime once with our Ian when he was small, with the two in it, Lofty and the one who played the sergeant. Yeah, they were in this pantomime. We took my son and his friends to see. They were funny, yeah, so funny. Yeah. Oh, Ina Sharples, yeah. Ina. Yeah, Ken Dodd was funny. I wasn't as keen on him, you know, as I was on some other comedians. He was okay, yeah. Yeah, it was Ina. Oh God, Minnie Colwell, Ina Sharples, and Martha Longest. Yeah, that's who were the three old dears that were in the Snug. That's about the last time I actually watched Coronation Street, when Elsie Tanner was in it and the three old dears were in it. And Mr. Papadopoulos, yeah, who went on to be in Dad's Army, didn't he? Mr. Papadopoulos. Yeah. It was good, Coronation Street then. Now it's not. It's too dramatic now. It's not true to life. Things like that would not happen in one street. And what I don't like is they don't have Lancashire accents and they're all supposed to be Lancastrians living in Coronation Street. And they're from London half the time. Oh, the soaps are depressing out there completely. They're always being blown up, or there's train wrecks, or somebody's being stabbed or run over with a tram, aren't they? They used to be really watched all the time. People used to watch Coronation Street avidly. And yet there was never anything like that in it. You know, the worst it ever used to be was a bit of adultery here and there, or something, you know, somebody stealing out the till or something. But there's, it's just depressing. And like I said, For me, like, who don't live too far away from Salford, it is not true to life of Salford. And the number of people who used to say to me, "Where's Coronation Street? Can you take me to Coronation Street?" And I said, it doesn't exist. It's made up. It's just a set, you know, in a studio. There is actually a Coronation Street in Salford, but it's a row of modern houses. Why they called it Coronation Street, I have no idea. But it's a row of modern houses. It's not Coronation Street at all. But people really think it's real, you know. People from down south thought there really was a Coronation Street, and it really was like that, and a Rover's Return. And I'm like saying, no. We went once, we went on a trip to it. It was some ladies' club we went. And it's just the fronts of the houses. It's all like propped up at the back. There's no well, it's not there's no real houses there. It's just a set. It's just like the fronts of the houses. And when they go through the front door, they then go into a studio somewhere else, you know, the innards of the house. They're not real houses. If Because we walk round the back of them and they're just like a front, you know, propped up on pieces of wood. There's no You can go in the Rover's Return because they have made that into a proper pub as such. But you can go in there. I can't remember whether we could actually buy a drink there or not, or whether we just went in it. But they had made that into a proper pub. You could actually go into there. But I don't think it was licensed. I don't think we could have a drink there. But, you know, it was just fake, you know, it was just like, like these Wild Western sort of places where they have saloons where you're just not there, really. Hi, Lydia. I'm surprised Ken Barlow's still in it. God, he's as old as he's about 90 now, isn't he? It's about time he retired. Everybody else has popped the clogs, haven't it, really? Yeah, he's bankrupt for some strange reason. God knows why. I think he must have made bad investments because Lord knows he's been paid enough money over the years, hasn't he? The only one I ever saw was Nigel Pivaro. He played somebody's son in it. He's a right big-headed sod, he was. He used to come in the job centre because he was out of work. When he wasn't working on Coronation Street, he was out of work. I know his real name's Nigel Pivaro. But it was somebody's son in the Coronation Street. God knows what he played. Oh, and I saw, what was he called? He came in the pub when we were eating it when we had our DWP party. What was he called? He was in it for years and years and years. I can see him now, but Vera and Jackson, that's what he was. Yeah. No, there was another bloke that was in it for years and years and years. I was amazed how tiny he was, actually. He came in this pub, you know, having a meal and that, but he weren't with his wife. Are they ever? And he'd been on This Is Your Life or something about a couple of weeks before, you know, saying how happily married he was and his wife was on there and everything. And there he was in this pub with his bitter stuff. And a woman that we knew said, oh, yeah, he bought her a flat. She lives round the corner. He's been going out with her for years. And he'd just been on This Is Your Life, like us. Happily married, yeah. Yeah, Terry Duckworth, that was him. He's called Nigel Pivaro. I don't know what he does now. I think he does journalism or something. He was absolutely arrogant. He was, And I used to ask him for his job search. He used to say, I'm an actor. That's all you need to know. I said, well, what have you applied for? What have you been on any auditions? Where have you been? What have you been doing? I'm waiting for the right role to come. He went through, Nigel Bavaro actually got done for bringing a gun through customs once when he'd been out somewhere. He brought a gun through customs. Ooh. How was knitting club? Fine. I went to the afternoon one. I was a bit worried because my tyres are shredded on my scooter. Anyway, Val, who's on here now, she gave me a lift to the nighttime one, which I was very grateful for because I don't think my tyres will last 5 minutes longer. When I went to the cafe, we went by taxi. I didn't trust my scooter. My friend's scooter doesn't have a top on, so she didn't want to get wet through. So we went by taxi. And then her son had come home from work early, so he picked us up. I'm hoping I'm going to get some tyres. I'm going to ring him again on Monday. He already knows about the state of my tyres. And it's due for its MOT because every 12 months they take them in and give them an MOT, sort them out, check the batteries and check everything's okay. And I know why he's not got in touch with me, because he'll have to order those tyres because they don't keep them in stock because they're solid tyres, yeah. Oh, they'll have to. I'm on a Motability scheme, Katie. I pay so much a month, so I sort of rent the scooter, if you know what I mean. It's not my responsibility if it breaks down or if it needs new tyres. It's not my responsibility. I mean, I pay enough. I pay me. My disability money goes every month to them. I pay enough. But at least I don't have to buy. These tyres were over £100 each, and they haven't lasted 6 months. I'd already had 3 tyres before that, the ones that blow up. So they put my solid ones on. So I've had 5 tyres in 12 months on this scooter. I mean, it's the roads round here, honest to God. They don't do any road repairs. They don't do anything. I mean, somebody put on our local Facebook page like a joke. They'd seen somebody come, a wagon like with tarmac, and they actually got a wheelbarrow full and put it in one hole. There was like a million holes on this street, but they filled one hole with tarmac. That's it, yeah. Yeah, it's just the waiting. They give me a replacement. Well, it's gone, but I don't get a replacement with a cover over it. I'll just get an ordinary replacement, so I'll have to pray it doesn't rain here. Hi, Lulu. Oh, you can't tell which is worse, the pavements or the road round here. A blanket hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Lulu says hi. Everybody say hi. Give them all a wave. If you watch Neil Sean, give them all a wave. We have a guy on here called Neil Sean, and he does lots of things. He does the royalty, and he also does like Elizabeth Taylor, old stories about her, Mickey Rooney and that like that. But he always says, give us a wave. Yeah. Yeah. The last one I watched, he was on about Bill Haley, about the Queen at the Royal Variety Performance, telling Bill Haley she listened to all his records. Her and Margaret used to dance to them all. I go out roughly 3 times a week. Oh, I need some more thumbs up. Yeah, 44 people in, 27 thumbs up. So somebody is forgetting. I don't like begging, but yeah, I have to do it. It raises my profile. It does not make a bat of difference to any money that I may or may not earn, because I don't earn any. I'd love to know how people earn money on YouTube, because I've asked a few people, but they're very cagey. I'll say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? How come you all get money and I don't? And they're very cagey. They don't like telling you. But I believe thumbs up do help me to raise my profile. So if you raise my profile, more people may subscribe to me, and I actually might start getting a little bit of money, which would be very, very helpful to me in my old dotage, you know. I'm not begging. I'm not saying, come on, give me. But you know, YouTube should be paying me. I'm not doing this, whatever they call it, that thingamajig, Patreon. Not doing that. I always think it feels like begging. And I'm not good at that. People say, oh, you should do that. You should have. I did Ko-fi once upon a time. I think I got 3 coffees bought me. That were like £9. I want all at once. I think I had 3 coffees bought me over the space of about 6 months, yeah. So I gave up that as a bad job. I always think I've got nothing to offer. I don't do any private videos for my members only. I don't have patterns I can give out. I don't have advice I can give out. So I would feel I was cheating people if I said that. You know, what do I have to offer? I have nothing to offer. You know, I'm a bit too old to do the striptease, you know what I mean? Burlesque. Get me feather boa out, yeah. That could be good for a laugh, couldn't it? When I was younger, maybe, but not now. You might pay me to put it back on again. Please don't strip off, put it back on. And I could sing, but then again, you'd all switch off in your droves. So, no. I'll stick to just being me. Well, last time I had a big, like a boxer's thing wrapped around my hand for about 3 weeks. But things have changed. It's about 10, 12 years since I had this done. Things may have altered. Maybe it's a different whatever. I was able to knit with my right hand very. I was only knitting little squares. I was doing a baby blanket that was in the shape of a leaf. And he made 4 tiny squares that made up one big square that looked like leaves. So I did manage to do that while my bandage was on. And after I went back, you know, to have the stitches took out and everything, and he said, you can start using your hand now. And I thought, little do you know, I've been using it. But I'm hoping I'll be able to use it slightly right away, yeah. Yeah, if you just put a little heart or anything, or just put hello or something, it raises your profile. The more comments you get, even if people, I do try to reply to comments. I mean, sometimes I leave it about 6 videos and then I'm there for about an hour, kind of answering everybody. I read everybody's. If you are one that leaves me messages and leaves me comments, I read them all, even if I don't always answer them. I do read them. Yeah, I'm guilty. I also try to remember when I'm watching YouTube on the TV to go back to my PC, even if I don't watch the video again, to just give people a thumbs up, yeah? Just to let them know. I mean, I watch my, you can't see it, but my screen here is the size of a TV screen. It's actually a TV screen, a small TV monitor. It's my old one. I had a little one before. And when it went, my son said, why don't you use your old telly? So I did. So I do tend to, during the day, I watch it on my PC, and then I can. If I don't put a comment, I'll put a thumbs up, or always put a thumbs up, yeah. But obviously at night time, when I'm watching the big telly, my son's put YouTube on the big telly for me now. So I have to try to remember who I've watched and put a comment. Because I had to go back to Denise from Dear Designs because she'd actually mentioned me with that, you know, that far point topper I crocheted, the red one that I was blocking out. And she put a comment about, you know, I'd made it. So I had to remember to go back today to her video and said thank you very much, like, for mentioning me and saying that, you know, I wear it because she didn't know whether she'd wear it if she made it. Whereas I wear it over a plain dress, or I wear it over a single coloured top and trousers, the same colour. You with me? Like as a base. Because it kind of wouldn't work if you had like a white shirt and denim pants on and you put it over the top. It wouldn't work. It's kind of got to have a blank canvas underneath it, if you're with me. Yeah, the Doris Cham, yeah. It needs a blank canvas, just a plain round neck long sleeve t-shirt or something underneath it needs. Or if it was summer, you could wear a vest underneath if it was a single colour. But it wouldn't work if you were wearing like a patterned shirt or, you know, even a white, you know, V-neck shirt or something. It wouldn't work. It's got to be something very plain underneath it. You know, I'm a one for my plain dresses. I mean, I'm I'm not today. I'm a mishmash today. I've got ooh, can you see them or not? Well, you can't see them, can you? Hang on, let me show. See if you can see my leg. Oh yeah, you can see. I'm wearing my patchwork pants today with a horrible gold-coloured my fleece. I do not match at all. I am not my usual self. I usually am a lot more coordinated, but I wasn't in the humour. Oh, I've gone all fuzzy. Come on, clear. I look as though I'm in a fog, don't I? I've gone fuzzy. Hopefully it'll clear. I've made that dot. In fact, somebody said to me, didn't you make one in purple? And I did, and I can't find it. I don't know whether it's disappeared at the back of the wardrobe somewhere or whether I got rid of it, and I can't remember. I've got one that, oh God, I've gone fuzzy wuzzy. A fuzzy wuzzy. What's gone wrong? I moved my camera, didn't I? And I've gone fuzzy. Oh, it's gone worse now. Oh, that's better. It's cleared itself. Oh, I've got flowers in my hair. If you're going to San Francisco, you gotta wear some flowers in your hair. Yeah. Yeah, I need to wear a headband, don't I? I watch Lady C, as she called, Lady Colin Campbell. I mean, how she gets away with it, I don't know. She's always got some horrible things to say about the royalty sometimes. But she had a lovely headband on. It was like black velvet, and it had like pearls on it. It was like a padded headband, and I thought, ooh, quite like that. I bet she's paid a fortune for it, mind. But it's just a big black, yeah, more like a tiara it was, but it was black velvet with all these pearls in it. Oh, and it did look nice. And I thought, quite like that. I would wear one of those. Yeah, Lady C, she doesn't mind what she says, does she? You're in San Francisco, there's no flowers inside. I think you're about 40 years out of date. Was it 50 years out of date? And it was Woodstock. Quite a long time since Woodstock, isn't it? Yeah. Harry's friend, yeah. She used to like Harry, but she doesn't now. I wonder if he'll get chucked out of the US because he lied about his past and his drug taking, didn't he? I mean, they wouldn't let the Rolling Stones in or Paul McCartney at one time, would they? Oh, quite a few people got refused. Who's this? The royal formerly known as Prince Harry. Lady C is Lady Colin Campbell. She's sort of part of the nobility, kind of, but she doesn't care what she says. She just comes right out with it, whatever she says, doesn't she? And when she says anything horrible, about Megan, she'll say, and sue me, and sue me. I'll see you in court. Yeah. Yeah, she married she didn't last long with him, did she? But she married Lord Campbell. I think she had about 10 months marriage with him, but she kept the name. Yeah, because she was born in Jamaica, wasn't she? But I do like her. She comes on, she does a video nearly every day with those two great big dogs, don't she, that sit all over her. Yeah, she's hilarious. She doesn't care what she says. I'm surprised nobody's sued her yet. But she gets away with it, doesn't she? She just comes right out and says what she thinks, yeah. The posh lady who was in I'm a Celebrity. Yeah, she was. That was her. She's got long blonde hair. She's about 70 or something. Yeah, she was in I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here. Lady Colin Campbell. Yeah. I don't know what her other name is. She's just known as Lady Colin Campbell. Lady C. Yeah, she didn't last long with him, did she? She only married to him for about 10 months. She knows a lot of people, Lydia. She does know a lot of people. Especially in Jamaica, she knows everybody. Oh, she's called Georgie, you see. 1949. Oh, she's younger than me. Ooh. Well, she looks very well preserved, doesn't she? She hasn't got all the bags and whatever. She's from a lot of money, isn't she? She must have a lot of money to live where she lives. And she wears loads of lovely jewellery, doesn't she? She had a lovely necklace on. I watched it today. Lovely pearl necklace and a brooch, and she had that headband thing on. I was like, oh, I love that headband. I want that headband when you've done with it, Lady C. Yeah. Talking about that, I started watching a programme. Oh, she did have lots to say about that, Lydia, yeah. She wasn't very complimentary. What was I going to say then? Yeah. I watched a programme the other day about this street in London, and no, it wasn't 45 minutes. He only had about 15. It was 45 minutes all in all, but he only actually talked to the king for about 15. This street in London, and the aristocracy, there was a bloke there who was getting married, who was having his shirt made, and it was all measured up for him. And then they went in two jewellers, one that's appointed was to the Queen, and, well, it was Prince Charles then, he's now the king, and the jeweller that was in there. Then there was another jeweller's, these fantastic, fabulous things he was making. He hasn't got, the crown register that they have. He isn't appointed to the Queen or anything, but oh my God, some of the jewellery. There was a lady came in and she was looking, she had these emerald earrings, they were. Did you watch it? Yeah. Emerald earrings she had and a ring. And they said it'll be 38,000, but 36 to you because you're a good customer or something. I'm like, and they said, would you like a glass of champagne? I thought, yeah. She was buying something off me for 38 grand. I'd give her a glass of champagne as well. But she's one of the best customers. And then there was that bloody Pierre, what he was called. He bought a bird made out of porcelain, didn't he? That was kind of about 20 odd thousand pounds or something, just for a little ornament, a bird. Oh, I thought, how they are, how rich. There's me hoping to go to the charity shop in Blackpool. Where do I watch Lady C? She's got a YouTube channel. She's on every day. If you look her up, she's on YouTube. She's got loads of followers. I mean, she probably earns megabucks on YouTube. because people watch her because she's so controversial. Yeah, she got 2 huge dogs that are always on the sofa with her. I don't know what breed they are. I can't remember. Lady C. She was born intersex, and her family tried to say that she was a boy, but she wasn't actually. She was wrongly. She was one of those neither when she was born, so they brought her up as a boy. But Cavalier Spaniels are they? But she's never was a boy, if you know what I mean. People say, oh, she was born a man, but she never was. She was born what? Yeah, well, her mum wouldn't pay. It was her auntie who paid for the, for her to be sorted out, if you know what I mean. Yeah, she was malformed, let's say, unisex. She was born, so they brought her up as a boy, even though she wasn't. She was kind of a girl all the time. Yeah. What do you want, little girl? What do you want? Do you need a wee? Trixie, do you need a wee? Hmm? You okay? I never know whether she needs one or not. I don't read the signals very well. Yeah, my dad used to call them he-she's. He used to work with, sorry if you're vegetarian, he used to work in a slaughterhouse because he was a butcher. And they used to have cattle come in that were neither. And they were hermaphrodites, and they used to call him a he-she or a McGarry. Funny enough, I had nothing to do with Meghan and Harry. They used to call him a McGarry, which meant they were Meghan and Harry, which is rather funny these days, isn't it? I'm going back when I was a little tiny girl. Yeah. Yeah. So I just remembered it, and I just think it's funny now. I just remembered that they used to call him a he-she or a McGarry. I don't think they'd be very happy, would they, with that? Yeah, it used to be hermaphrodites, didn't it? I mean, some animals in the animal kingdom are hermaphrodites, isn't it? They can reproduce on their own, can't they? I can't remember what animals that they are. I think they're more amphibians, aren't they? That can do that. I know we did it once, but oh God, I can't remember. It's so long since I was at school. Yeah, is it earthworms or something? Seahorses. No, the seahorse, the male looks after the babies, doesn't it? Yeah, plants. And then axolotls that can grow a new leg if they lose a leg or something, or the tail drops off, they can grow a new one, can't they? Are they axolotls, whatever they are? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's earthworms or something that have both sexes, and they just mate with themselves, don't they? Yeah. We should be able to do that. It'd save a lot of bother, wouldn't it? Yeah. You wouldn't need to go on any dating sites, would you? You know what I mean? If you wanted kids, you just made them yourself, yeah. Who needs a man? Who needs a woman? Yeah. We'll do it ourselves, yeah. I've never actually, I think I've seen an axolotl on a picture. I don't think I've ever actually seen one in real life. Those stick insects at school used to freak me out. Ugh. I've got a friend who keeps them and breeds them. They freak me out, them things. They're like walking sticks, aren't they? Ugh. Ugh. Certain animals, I just can't look at them. Axolotl. Oh. I don't mind chameleons and some kinds of lizards. I mean, some lizards are flipping ugly, aren't they? But we used to have a guy who used to come in the job centre with this massive sort of chameleon thing on his shoulder. I don't think it was a chameleon. Iguana, that's what it was. We had to stop him bringing it in because everybody was freaked. All the rest of the customers, massive big thing it was on his shoulder. Do you want a wee wee? Do you need a wee? Come on, tell me. Shall we go wee wee? Just one moment. Do you need wee wees? Come on, I think you do. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Don't know where Rosie is. Let's go. Let's find Rosie. Rosie, do you need a wee? Do you need a wee wee? Come on, this way. This way. Hey. Oh. Oh dear. Good job we went out. Little wanted to poop. Oh, I can't do Zooms. 45 people on Zoom would be ridiculous, really. You'd all be like little people all across my screen like that. And you'd all be talking and I wouldn't know who was talking. You know, I'd have to go, your turn, your turn, your turn. I don't think you could have 45 people on Zoom either. I'd thought about it, but then it would be like picking so many people. Who would I pick? You know, I would feel as though I was discriminating against the other people who I didn't pick. You know, it would be awful. You know, it would be like, why wouldn't you invite me to your Zoom? Am I not good enough for your Zoom? I'd be like, oh, please. I used to do Zoom calls, but there was only about 6 of us. You know, that was quite enough, actually. You weren't talking over each other then. You know, you were like doing other things, like we'd be sitting knitting or something like that. I used to do it with Denise and a few others that used to do. There's about 6 of us used to do it. And that was kind of enough people to have a Zoom call. But I never set the Zoom call up, if you know what I mean. I just joined it when somebody else set it up, yeah. Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You couldn't roll up in your PJs. You know, if it was first thing in the morning, you see me looking all like, you know, Tina Turner in a bad wig, you know. Hair all over the place and my big dressing gown on with egg down the front, you know. I'm not exactly suave and sophisticated in the morning. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind doing a Zoom with about 6 people, but who do I choose? You know, it's just awkward, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? It's like the people who weren't chosen would think they weren't the favourite or something. What are you doing? Oh, she's licking her paw now. Yeah, it's a good job I went out because she hadn't got out the door before she had a poo. So it would have been a bit of clearing up for Grandma Jan to have done if we had to tuck her out just then. I wondered what she was hovering for. I knew she wanted something. Oh, I know, I'm beautiful, aren't I, Val? Well, you've got to have self-confidence, haven't you? You've got to say these things because nobody else does, do they? You know? Fleetwood's answer to Lily Savage. Well, I would be if I wore that flipping wig. I think I'd rather have Lily Savage's wig than that one. I'll bring it on Wednesday. I'm threatening you. I want to see. That'll spoil your perm. Oh, dear. See, if Alice had been there, she'd have put it on because she's a good sport, isn't she? Oh, dear. Our Alice. Alice comes to knit club, usually, but she fell and she broke her hip and she's 92 years old. And she's now out of hospital, out of recuperation. She licked some raw. She would do if I didn't stop her, Nathan. She's a pain in the bum. It's a trait with Frenchies that they lick and lick their paws. And it's that awful noise they make, like little pigs. She sounds like a pig if you can hear her. She does it when I'm going to bed and I'm trying to fall asleep, and she will sleep with me. You can't get away from it. She will not sleep in a basket. She will not sleep in a... She sleeps with me. And then she's... When you're trying to go to sleep and you're like, Trixie, go to sleep. Trixie, yeah. It's whether she could get in the car, Val, isn't it? That's the problem. I mean, it was a bit high. I was struggling to get in a bit. That's the only thing with her, is whether she could get in the car. I mean, she probably would love to come for the company, you know. But you like pigs? This one, we could have this one. It's going free. Snorty Snuffle. I tell you, if anything happened to them two, she'd be out the door. I'd keep Rosie, but I wouldn't keep this one. I'll be finding her a good home, I think. Or a bad home. I'd send her to Nathan, he can have her. My friend's looking for a little dog, she could have her. When I have her for a week, oh, God, it's torture. She stomps about all night long. She does not lie still. She's like on the move all night long, and then she's because she's licking her paw, or then she comes up in your face and she's messing about, and then she stands all over you. And I'm ratty if I don't get my sleep. If I do not get 8 hours sleep, I am as ratty as anything. Then she wakes me up about it was 7:30 actually this morning when she started waking me up. She woke me up earlier, but then I made her go to sleep again. But she got me up at 7:30. So I was not happy because I didn't get to sleep till about 2. So that meant I only had about 5.5 hours sleep, and I don't like that. Yep, 51 watching, 38 thumbs up. Excuse me, somebody's forgetting. Oh, look at me now. I've got no nails on that hand, they've all broke off. That's because I'm doing everything with my right hand. Left hand's got all the nails. The right hand's got none. They've all snapped off. It's because everything I normally do with 2 hands, I can only do with 1. I'm actually getting a little bit more relief at the moment because I've had it stuck in my pocket where it's warm. So don't tell anybody, but I've got a little bit of relief there. So luckily it's this side, and I sleep on this side so I can hang it out of bed. Dangle it. Up to last week when I dangled it and waved it about, the circulation came back. But this week something has happened and it's like just dead and more dead. And it's annoying me. So maybe I should warm up my boxing mitten. I showed it you, those of you who didn't see it. That's the heated mitten that I ordered. Well, it was come as a pair, actually. I mean, look at the size of it. Look at the size of that. It's, my wrist braces have been working up to this last 2 weeks, 3 weeks when it's gone really bad. But it's been working. But this is a big brace, this one. I've only had this one a week. But the other one only came to there, so I could still move my wrist. But this one, the bar comes all the way down there. So you cannot move. You can't twist your wrist like that. And that's really, really hurts like anything. But at the moment, I can't switch a light switch on, would you believe, with this hand. Can't even switch a light switch on. And I cannot pick anything up at all. I can do that, but I can't feel anything. So everything has to be done with this hand, which is why I've got no nails. I have to switch light with it. I have to do everything with it. Wash up with one hand. That's fun. I need to get one of those thing jigs, you know, for when I have me up, the shower things that fasten on with Velcro. They're like a big plastic bag, aren't they? Fasten on so I can have a shower. At least I'll be able to wash my hair. Last time it was my right hand, and I couldn't wash my hair with my left hand. I could do it with this hand. I did my roots, can you tell? Did my roots. I thought I was getting very dark haired. I showed my wedding picture off. Not he wasn't on it, but I showed my wedding picture off at knit club and nobody knew it was me. Where's it gone? See if I can find it. Everybody was saying, that's not you, that's not you. But it was me, it was me. It was me, it was me. My hair is naturally very, very dark. Or it was, it's probably grey now. Underneath everything. There we go. Don't know whether you can see it or not. Oh, it's gone. It's gone again. Where did it go? Oh, there. Somebody was saying that does not look like me. Can you see it? Yes, I was very, very dark. There. I think it looks like me. But look how much hair I had. I've got the same smile, I think. Same nose. Yeah, that was me. That was, wow. Yeah, it was almost black, my hair. Everybody used to say to me, what colour dye do you use? And I said, that's my own hair. I didn't dye it dark brown. It was dark brown. It was not dyed for my wedding. That was my own hair, if you know what I mean. But it just went gradually lighter over the years. It didn't go this colour, obviously. I'm grey now, sort of dark, horrible dark grey. Would I dye? Oh, no. When I had my mannequin, I bought her a dark brown wig. And Sue and I tried it on. Well, we had hysterics. Talk about it doesn't suit me. My niece dyed my hair light brown once. She said, I think we should try your light brown. God, I looked awful. And everybody kept asking me if I was ill. My complexion's too pale now. Too pale. I mean, even my eyebrows are pale. And my eyelashes are pale. We should have took photographs that day. We couldn't do anything for laughing. Yeah, I bought this dark brown long wig for Paris, the mannequin. She looked nice in it. We looked a sketch, honestly. We looked so funny. I had a red wig I quite liked that was for Paris. Quite liked myself in the red wig, yeah. And I had a lovely blonde short one that I gave away. I wish I'd have kept it now because it was this colour blonde. And I mean, that wig that came today was supposed to be blonde. It's like brown. It looks... Ugh. No, I've been blonde now for about the last 15 years, something like that. Yeah. Ginger suits me. I quite don't mind being ginger. I've never had enough courage to go like purple or anything like that. I'd love to be white. You know, that silver grey colour. But sadly, apart from the sides here are completely white. But apart from that, the rest of it is dark. You know, that dark salt and pepper look. And that doesn't suit me. I've tried to grow it out on about 3 different occasions. And I've got to be about like that far down. And I've had to give it up. I felt depressed. I really felt dowdy and depressed. And I said to my niece, I said, I feel dowdy. She said, that's because of your hair. Let's go it blonde again. So back to blonde I went, yeah. So that was the end of growing it out. I should grow it out because my hair's dropping out. Yeah. I'd love to have my mum's colour of hair, which was like white. Absolutely pale, you know, the pale grey, like the platinum, almost white. Both of my grands were white. My brother never went grey. He had brown hair up to him dying. He was 80 something when he died. And he had just bits of grey coming through, you know. In the brown, he had bits of grey coming through, but he kept his hair colour. Yeah. I can't remember when my mum went grey because she used to dye her hair brown, yeah. Hi, Yolanda. I can't do anything like that, Dottie. I'd have to go to the hairdressers for that, and I can't afford that. They won't. The last time I went to the hairdressers for colour was when my son got married, and he's been married nearly 20 odd years now, and they charged me £70, and that was way back then. £70 to have my hair done. I thought, I can't afford that. And she cropped it that short. I look like a boy. Ooh, no, thank you. I ain't going through that again. Oh, it takes me all my time to do my hair as it is. My niece used to be good at doing my hair, but of course she lives miles away now. So I'd get a straight line. I wouldn't get it looking natural. You know, they do it nicely, don't they? When I had mine done, it cost me £70. I had like 3 different colours put in it. But I don't know what she did with the blonde because it all fell out. One of them was like a white blonde streaks and they just all came out. She must have over bleached it. So I do my own now. £9 a box. Every couple of months. Never seen a hairdresser in donkey's years. I think the last time I went to a hairdresser was 20 odd years ago. They don't understand the word trim. I would come out with it level with my ears, and that's one cut that I don't suit. I do not suit. You know that fringe and here? Does not suit me at all. You know where it stops here, like a bob? No, I haven't got the right face structure. To do the bit, I get the dark bit here, but it's grey. I don't like that. I want to be white. I want to be absolutely white, but I'd have to bleach it, and then it would just start dropping out. I'd have to, strip everything out of it and bleach it to get it to go white. That would be a hell of an upkeep, that, wouldn't it? Because your roots would be like black. Like Lily Savage colour. I'd love to be that colour. Real tart, yeah. But when I tried that darker wig on, oh, God, no. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I just don't like myself with dark hair anymore. You'll come from Fleetwood from Cheshire. My hair's falling out left, right, and centre, like I said before. Have I got a tattoo? No. No tattoos. I mean, look at that colour of hair. Isn't that awful? That is so aging. Look at that. I look 20 years older. That's horrible. It's supposed to be blonde, that. I've never seen blonde. That's seen blonde, but it's horrible. It's a horrible wig. Look at that. Awful wig. No, they're both going to go onto my polystyrene. It's awful, that. It's like it said it was blonde when I ordered it. That's never blonde. It's never seen blonde, has it? It's aging. I would love to have the kind of hair that is bouffanted and short. But my hair, I look like a boy when I have my hair cut short. It's not blonde, it's dirty blonde, as my mum used to call it, dark, dirty blonde. I like Marilyn Monroe blonde. Jean Harlow, What would she call that other woman? Come up and see me sometime, yeah? That kind of blonde. Peroxide, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Lily Savage blonde, peroxide blonde. That's me. Yeah. I could do with Dolly Parton's leftover wigs, couldn't I? Wonder what she does with them when she's finished with them. Whether she sells them on eBay. She has some gorgeous wigs, doesn't she? Oh, Audrey Hepburn, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to be white. My grey comes in that dark, awful salt and pepper colour. Sorry if you're dark grey salt and pepper colour and you like it, but I don't. I'm very visual. If I look a mess, I feel a mess. I feel depressed. I feel dowdy. I feel down. I need to look a certain way, otherwise I don't feel like me. Maybe that sounds very superficial, maybe that sounds very vain, I don't know, but that's the way I feel. Oh yeah, Mary Quant, the bob. She had lovely thick hair though, didn't she? I tried that bob when I was, in the 60s. Didn't suit. Didn't suit me. Yeah, yeah. It's like Twiggy always had her hair very short, didn't she? But it didn't suit me. No, I've never suited a bob. Never. My hair's too thin and scrappy. You need thick hair to do a good bob. My hair just lies there and dies. The best hair I ever had was when it was dark and thick, and I used to have a fake piece. Remember the curls, the fake piece? But it was a good fake piece. It was real hair. It wasn't tat. And it was exactly the same colour as my hair. I paid about £70 for it, and I'm going back in the 60s. So it was real hair, and I bought it from Kendall Mills in Manchester. And she colour matched it to my hair, and it was beautiful. And nobody ever knew it was fake, yeah. And I wore that for years until it started to be unfashionable. But yeah, it was great. I had a long wig as well that was real hair. That cost £100 and odd. But I left it on the windowsill, and the sun bleached one side of it. So it was like, she calls Sia, she has one side blonde and the other side dark. I mean, the hairdresser said, "Why did you throw it away?" She said, "I could have sorted it out for you," because it was real hair. I said, "Oh, no." I used to have mine permed. I don't mean permed as in, from Call the Midwife. They used to do a body perm, didn't they? They used to just give your hair body, but it wasn't curly. And I used to have that, like, what they used to call like a shaggy perm, like a poodle perm. I used to have one of those. It was kind of short on the top, but it had long wispy bits at the back, all in curls, yeah. Yeah, body perm, that was what it was. We had a great hairdresser. He was called John. He used to come and do my mum's hair, and he used to do mine. He used to come to the house and do it. And he was the only hairdresser that ever did what I told him, and my hair was gorgeous all the time. He looked after it. And then he decided he had a couple of children, small babies, and he couldn't make it pay, going around people's houses. So he got a job in a hairdresser's, and that was the end of him. And he was nowhere near. I couldn't go to him, because he used to come in the evening when I was finished work. He used to do my mum's hair kind of in the afternoon, and then I used to come after work, and he used to do mine, and my hair was at its best. It was beautiful condition, and he really used to look after it for me. And that was when it was at its best, if you know what I mean. Oh, hello. You did mobile as well, did you? Yeah, John did as well. He was a lovely hairdresser. The Adventures of Buster, Princess Mia and Angel Zook. Huh? He's been looking after a dog that belonged to a homeless man. And yeah, he got the dog back to health as well. I don't know whether you ever watch him or not. He's adopted. He adopted staffies when they were very elderly and expected to kind of die, and he kept them for years. He's got one now. She's 19, I think she is. Mia, she's called. He adopted her about 3 years ago. Her elderly parents couldn't look after her anymore, and they wanted her put to sleep. And he said no. He said there's still a bit of life left in her, and she's She walks like a penguin. She's really funny. I love watching her. But he'd been looking after a homeless guy's dog. He saw it outside the supermarket, and it had all kinds of problems, and people donated, and he took the dog to the vet, and he's got, everyone's like, don't give the money to the homeless guy, and he's like, no, I'm not giving any money to the homeless guy. I just sorted out the dog, because he's absolutely devoted to this dog, even though he's homeless. And but he didn't have the money, obviously, to take it to the vet to get it sorted. And he's got it sorted, yeah. Oh, you had a Staffy White called Dolly, yeah. We had a Staffy cross, a boxer cross. She was a Staffordshire bulldog cross with a boxer dog. He Buster. He was my little love. And then we had a Rottweiler, and a Rottweiler cross with a German Shepherd. She passed, not last year, year before. She passed the year we got Rosie. Yeah, we lost the Rottweiler. She had cancer of the liver. Oh, her eyes went yellow and her tongue. Oh, wasn't nice at all. And then we lost Poppy. She got cancer. We took her to the vet for an exploratory operation, but she passed away on the table, so she never came home. That was just after we'd got Rosie. And then, as you know, I used to do doggy daycare with a Chihuahua called Gigi, but he passed away aged 8. He had a heart attack. Luckily, he wasn't with me when he had his heart attack. He was with his parents. And then we've got, how come we got the French Bulldog? I'll never know. She went to see a friend and come back with a bulldog. I mean, Rosie, apart from her barking, she's a little treasure. I found out where she'd gone. She's asleep on my bed. She makes a whirlpool on my bed. I've got like a satin cover over the duvet, like a throw thing, and she goes round and round and round, and it looks like a whirlpool. Can always tell when she's been on my bed. I don't mind her, because she doesn't do anything. I mean, she's very, very clean, is our Rosie, yeah. You sent me a picture. Oh, why did I use my left hand to pick up my phone? Because I'm stupid. Very nice, very tasteful. I won't show you. Very tasteful. It was a rude one. Not rude, but it was rude crochet. Naughty Nathan. I see Jen's been having a whinge again. It's one of the crocheters that comes on Facebook. Every now and again she has a proper go at people. Has a proper whinge. She must be earning a fortune, yeah. Well, it can be the height of fashion, but I won't be wearing them. Oh, there's a lady called Jen that comes on. I won't say anything. I'll tell you later what she's actually called, but she's always having a moan. She crochets and she earns a fortune selling her crochet, but she's always whinging and moaning about something or another. Somebody makes a catty comment, which you get. Everybody gets the catty comment when you crochet. But she takes it all, they've no right to say that to me. Why do they say these things to me? And I'm thinking, oh, God. You've got a million followers. One person says something awful to you and you go off the deep end. You're bound to get somebody that doesn't like you or somebody that's jealous of you when you've got so many followers. You can't all love her, It's just, we've all had snipey comments. I don't get them so much on YouTube. I used to get them on Ravelry all the time. I stopped going on there because people used to think they had the right to bitch, you know, on Ravelry all the time and have a go at you. Ooh. Are you going, Val? No, I mean, some people think they've got the right to say whatever they want to you and you've got to take it. And I don't get it. I don't do it. If I don't like a video, I just switch it off. If I don't like something that somebody's crocheted, I just don't look at it anymore. But I don't put nasty comment like, what on earth did you make that for? Or you've made a mess of that, haven't you? Or you've picked horrible colours. I just don't say anything. You know, I was brought up, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But some people, especially on Ravelry, think they've got the right to rip into you, you know, and say the most horrible things. And you're supposed to take it. And you feel like saying, I'd like to see your crochet. And if you think you're so brilliant, show me your crochet. You know, but I don't. I just don't bother. I just didn't go. I'm not rising to the bait. I'm not answering it. I mean, I don't go on a lot of lives for that reason. Certain people's lives, not the majority, the minority, you go on and they're having a right peck at each other. You know, and they're slagging somebody off and, you know, having a bitch at somebody. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness me. You know, if I disappear from this live, are they going to start talking about me? So I just, you know, I think, no, I just don't get it at all. I just don't, you know. Oh, thank you, Christine. But I cannot understand why people think they've got the right to say nasty things about each other. You know, it's like me saying, oh, did you see what such a body wrote last week? Who does they think they are? You know, and all that. And this is what went on some of the lives I went on. Oh, did you see what she made? It's horrible, isn't it? It was horrible, weren't it? And I'm like, I'm not going on. I'll just do without that, yeah. Yeah. There's a video I started watching. I can't remember what her name is. And she goes into all these arguments that are on like YouTube or Facebook or something. And she puts like a two-penny thing. This one's arguing about this and this is saying that. And she kind of like shows them up. She puts what they've written and stuff like that. You know, they're arguing about which came first, the chicken or the egg, you know. This is my pattern, how dare she copy it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, life's too short, you know. Life is too short. There is no such thing as kind of, oh, that was that guy today. He said my title, I had 0 views because my title was wrong. And I said, I've got 225 views. Where'd you get that from? And he goes, well, I was only, you know, passing a comment. I said, fine, thank you. I'm not rising to it. He's tried to send me a message on my Urban Gypsy page and he's tried to send me a message on WhatsApp and I've ignored him. I don't know what he wants. He probably wants to flog me some kind of, because I did mention, and every time I mention I need a web page, they come out of the woodwork, yeah? And they come from Pakistan or somewhere and they want to make me a web page for so many dollars, you know, and I'm just, no, I won't rise. I won't answer him. Yeah. No, they want you to do, there's algorithms or so they say, which I don't understand. So this is why I probably never make me YouTube. You're supposed to say, like, catch things that, clickbait, do they call it, where you're supposed to put a title up on your video that's supposed to grab somebody's attention in. It can be nothing to do with what you're actually going to talk about on your video, but you've got this clickbait kind of title that you put up. It's like an algorithm or something that they say, and that's supposed to grab somebody's attention that wouldn't normally look at you and drag them in to watch your video. And I'm like, well, I'm a bit of a, hi BL, I'm a bit of a, how can I put it? An acquired taste. If they don't like crochet or knitting or something like that, I can't clickbait anybody else to come and view me because they'd be bored. They wouldn't stay 2 minutes, would they? You know, if they want to, if they're into makeup or they're into fashion or they're into something, what would they be doing looking at my videos? Oh, none of the clickbait in the world would work. They might look at my video once, but they wouldn't stay. You know, they wouldn't subscribe. You know, it's just, you know, they're all full of this. If you want to grow your channel, you have to do this and that and the other, and it's got to be, you know, whatever. And it's too much hassle in it, you know. I mean, I'm not a sweet young thing that wants to make my, I want to give up my job and do this as a full-time job. I'm retired. I'm too old for that stuff. You know, I just love these 20-year-old kids. I will show you how to grow your crochet channel. I'm like, oh, come on then, tell me. You're living at home, your parents are paying your electric, the parents are paying for the petrol, the gas for your car, running you around. You haven't done 12 months yet, you haven't paid your income tax yet. You know, you're not paying rent because you don't live on your own. You haven't got all those expenses. And you're telling me how to run a crochet business. Come back in a couple of years' time when you've paid all your dues, when the in IRS, is it in America, when the IRS have got to you and you've got to pay the tax for the year gone, because you always pay a year behind, don't you? Come back and tell me then how to run my crochet business. Yeah. Oh, they're so full, aren't they? Oh, and they're selling little hats with frills round, and you know, and I'm like, that isn't going to pay your rent. I'm sorry. You could sell all the little frilly hats you feel like, and you know, but you're not going to pay the rent, your food, your bills, your electric, your gas for the car. Yeah. But I admire them, you know, for their, how can I put it there? The way they think it's going to work, yeah. But you don't see them in a couple of years' time because they've disappeared. They're no longer on YouTube. So you can't go back to and say, well, what happened to your dream? What happened to that dream you had 2 years ago where you were going to flood the internet, you were going to sell all your crochet and you were going to give up work? Where are you now? You know, what happened? But you don't get to see them, do you? A few do make it, a few that have got good business sense, a few do. And good luck to them, but the majority of them, they go by the wayside. They're not there in 2 years' time. They're no longer there. But it's, I used to get told that all the time. Oh, it must be lovely having a wool shop. Yeah, that's why I had to sell it in the end, because it was lovely having a wool shop when you can't make it pay. You know, it's not sitting there all day knitting. You know, you've got a lot more than that to do. Yeah. I think people don't understand what it's like to own your own business. All the hidden things that you have to pay, all your taxes, all your staff, all your staff's wages, your staff's, what do you call it? You know, the stamp, and then you've got the VAT, and you've got to pay your accountant, you've got to pay your council tax rates, you've got to pay everything. You can virtually say that out of £100, maybe £10 of it is yours. But the other £90 goes on running the business. People think when you earn £100 it's yours, and it's not at all. I know it sounds negative, but I've been there. I've been in business for, what, 40, 50 years we were in business. So I know all the downfalls, the pitfalls, the everything. And if you buy packets of yarn, you don't actually make any profit until every ball in that packet has been sold. If you buy 10 balls of wool and you sell 9, you haven't made any profit because your profit is in that last ball. If you buy 10 balls and you sell 10 balls, you've made a profit. It's hard. I wouldn't like to do it anymore. I would not go back into it now. I'm sorry I lost it in the first place, but I wouldn't want to go back to it now. It would be all online. You'd have to employ somebody to do all your web pages or to update everything. You'd have to employ somebody to post everything out, on a daily basis and work out all your taxes and stuff. Yeah, I couldn't do it now. Couldn't. I think the days for all, you're back in the Mary Quant era and people like that. I've got a book to read about Bieber, if you know Bieber. They were in at the right time, before all this VAT stuff and everything that came to cripple you, like Mary Quant, sort of, when you read in her story, she flew by the seat of her pants, really. And when she started, she'd no idea at all about making a profit and cutting things. And the number of times she made dresses, which you don't get to hear about, but she made dresses and they weren't a success and they didn't sell. And so she was left with all these dresses that she'd designed and they just didn't sell. And, the number of times she nearly went under because of this. And everybody's thinking, oh, Mary Quant, she's this big, big, big star and everything. And yet the number of times she nearly lost her business when you read her story. When she flew to America to do a catwalk show and all of her dresses got stuck in customs. So she arrived in America to do this catwalk show with all her models and no clothes because the clothes didn't arrive, It wasn't always easy for her. I mean, she probably made her money in the end, but at the beginning, it was really, really hard work for her. Yeah. I've got to read about Bieber. What's she called? Barbara something or other. I'm reading that next. Then I'll get on to the fashion one, the one with Audrey Hepburn and everything in. I thought I might as well read. They're great books. I only paid about a couple of pounds for them. And I love reading them again and again. I like the ones by, what's he called? Seth Cohen. He does YouTube videos as well, and he's got about 3 or 4 books called Aging Fashion or something. So these ladies who live in New York and they wear the most outrageous clothes, but they're so funny. She was married to McLaren, wasn't she? Vivienne Westwood. She did plaid. I've got her book as well. I love to read these fashion designer books. I really do. You'd think I was into it, wouldn't you? You'd think I was a sewer or something. I'm not, but I do like to. And I loved going to the V&A, where they have fashion through the eras, different eras. I mean, I haven't been to the Victoria and Albert Museum for a long, 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 long time. But some of the dresses that they've got on show there are fabulous. Yeah. Yeah, they're absolutely. They start off right from the beginning, and then you have the Victorian era, then you have the 20s, the flappers, the 30s, 40s, then you have the designers and everything. Yeah. A friend of mine did fashion, but she did textile design. But she does the videos that I promote sometimes. She goes, she did the painting on the wall, if you can see it behind the flowers. She likes charity shopping and stuff. And I used to like that lady who used to go shopping, Crafty Nana, Nana, but she's in, oh God, was she? Oh, Malaysia. She's in Malaysia at the minute, so she's not finding them. I used to love it when she went around Wales and everywhere into all these lovely charity shops. She used to get some fantastic bargains. You know, designer clothing and stuff for a couple of quid. Here, nothing, nothing. I'm hoping to go to one in Blackpool. And my friends just sent me a link to somewhere in Lancaster. Yeah, Princess Diana's wedding gown. It wasn't as crumpled, was it, in V&A? They must have ironed it, I think. There used to be a channel on Freeview. It was called the Fashion Channel. I used to sit up and watch that. And they used to do like, you know, Dior and things like that. And, but they stopped doing this. The channel stopped. It just stopped. I presume they couldn't pay anymore for it. And I watched a lot of programs like, you know, there was this like Chanel show where she brought all her stuff out of, you know, it's all been packed away in tissue. They put it all on these mannequins. Yeah, it wasn't so creased in the V&A though. They must have ironed it. It wasn't as bad as it was on her wedding day. On her wedding day when she got her. But they've admitted, aren't the designers, they admitted that they didn't take into consideration that it would be all squashed up in the carriage. You know, they were appalled when she got out the carriage and it was all screwed up. They hadn't road tested it, if you know what I mean. It got crushed, yeah. I've not heard of any Macintosh. Not heard of it at all. But we used to sell some knitting patterns by Mary Quant. In fact, I still got some in the shed, a couple of Mary Quant. Tell you what I found today, if you're into knitting, Serdar has got a web page where you can look at their patterns and buy them from the 40s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, every era. And you can actually buy, the patterns are about £3 something, but you can go back, right back with their, I was fascinated. I spent ages on it today, looking through it. You know, these lovely designs. Obviously, I only bought a couple, but you'll have to wait to see them when they arrive because they come in snail mail. But if you're into vintage knitting patterns or crochet patterns, try looking at the Serdar. I think it's called Way Back or something, or it's on the site and you can order them. I don't know how you go on if you're in America because I don't know whether they post them to you. Some of the really, really way back ones, though, they're PDFs. If the wool is no longer available, they send them to you digitally. Yeah. But if you look up Serdar, I think it's Serdar, something about way back or something. But there were, patterns, honestly. And I'm like, oh, gosh, I remember that from the 20s, 30s, 40s. I mean, admittedly, they'll all be smaller sizes and they'll all be in fine yarn. But if you like that sort of thing, but some of the patterns from the 60s and the 70s, I remember them from stocking them in the shop. But obviously, I don't have them anymore. But I remember thinking, I would have bought loads and loads, but they were about £3 or £4 each. So I limited myself to 2, yeah. So, but I would have loved to have bought a lot more. And they had the one that was, you know, the willow pattern knitted on it. Everybody made that with the willow pattern. Then there was another one with the country scene all knitted on, you know, different colours. But the willow pattern was beautiful when it was done. You did the whole sweater in blue and then you did the willow pattern in different shades of blue and white. And then, sorry I didn't order one because my friend's granddaughter, she's only 2 or 3, she's into horses. And there was one there with a big horse's head on it, yeah. No, they don't update the patterns. Some of the newer ones will be in a larger size. But if you go back to the vintage ones, no, the vintage ones, they kind of stop about 36, 38. But don't forget, Lydia, that most of them were knitted in very, very fine yarn. So you could always knit them in thicker yarn. Hi, Tracy. They could, yeah, you could always do them in thicker yarn on bigger needles, couldn't you, if you wanted to make them bigger, if they were in 3-ply or 4-ply. We're talking about a vintage pattern site, Serda, I found, and they do patterns from like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, whatever. And we're just saying about vintage patterns always come in small sizes. But they were always in 3-ply or 4-ply on tiny needles. So you could always update them, you know, do them in double knitting. Look how many stitches you normally cast on for your size and see if it's comparable. And if it's comparable, then do it in double knitting. Yeah. There's always a way around it, Lydia. Always a way around. Ah, you're still here, Lulu. I've never asked him that. Do you know that, Chris? What is it? You're too flipping. Oh, yes, it's Coca-Cola. Well, it's not actually Coca-Cola. It's Roller Cola. Cheap supermarket cola, yeah. Yeah, why? He did tell me one time. You too flipping whatever. What's the P stand for, Chris? Yeah. Oh, YouTube for posting. All right. I thought it was you're too flipping. Can't be beautiful, can it? You're too flipping pretty. There you are, Chris. You're too flipping pretty. That's what it stands for. No, I'm getting giddy on Coca-Cola. Yeah. Yeah, I was, like I say, I was down. Must have been spent 2 hours on this Serdar site today, just looking at all these patterns. I might go back and get the one with the horse's head on it. Did I restart? No, not today. For once, I haven't. No. I do watch you, Tracy, but I've been watching you on the telly. So I can't put, and I forget to come on here and put a comment because I've watched you. And I do try and remember to come back and give you a thumbs up. Sometimes you get a comment from me. I always watch you, but sometimes you get a comment, sometimes you don't, yeah. Oh, dear. I am mothing because I can't crochet and I can't knit with this stupid hand. Yeah. I'm watching myself on a telly screen, so, you know, I've got a lot more imperfections than you have. I'm about 30 years older than you. So every flipping wrinkle, you know, all your little wrinkly lines show up on telly, don't they? And I've got loads. I've given up bothering now. Given up bothering. Yeah, no, the other day you were absolutely bright red. I thought, what's Tracy done today? And it was before you started the derma rolling. Yeah, absolutely. On me telling you were bright red, and I thought, what's she done? I didn't, of course, point out your imperfections to you because we're just talking about that. About how some people put such nasty comments on sometimes. Why do they need to do it, you know? Oh, you've got that blushing kind of. I used to blush, but I don't know. What art museum? I've only been to the V&A. I never got to the Manchester one, which I was sad about, really. But the Victoria and Albert is gorgeous. And the art museum in London, I've been to that one as well. I never went to the science one. I meant to do, but my little feet and legs ran out of space and time. I was only there in London for a week. Yeah. But I haven't been to London for many, many years, so it probably wasn't half as crowded as it is now. Yeah, yeah, it's a long time since I went to the museums, but I do like to see the fashion in these museums and stuff. You know, I'm not so much interested in the other stuff, you know, the pottery and all that stuff. I only like textiles, you know, and fabrics and clothing is what I'm interested in. Some people go, don't they, and they're looking at all the gorgeous pottery and the gorgeous stuff. And the artwork to a certain extent. But I'm the old school. I can never get this Picasso and stuff like that. No, you see, I'm not into that. You know, going and looking at stuffed birds and mummies and dinosaur bones. I'm not quite into that. No. I like looking at painters, but not the impressionists, you know, and these people. Yeah, well, I saw a wedding dress. I think the wedding dress was at the V&A at one time. I don't know whether other dresses were there or not. Yeah, the portrait gallery. I've been in there. That was nice. I haven't been for years though. I couldn't do it now. Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't walk around it anymore. I'd have to take my little scooter, scoot round and mow everybody over. Yeah. Oh, and I've seen the crown jewels. I went to the tower and saw the crown jewels, but they don't let you linger. You're like on a conveyor belt, you know. I suppose it's for security, and you can't like stay and go. Oh, it's like keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. So I queued up for hours and hours in this queue at the tower, and then you were like through it in about 5 minutes because you can't linger. They won't let you stay. But they are nice, very glittery, very glittery. I couldn't do with London now because I can't walk round it, and like you say, I don't like the crowds anymore now. It's too packed for me now. Oh yeah, I was just saying I watched Lady Colin Campbell on her vlog thing that she does every day. She had a lovely, like a velvet headband on today. It looked like a tiara with all pearls all in it. It was gorgeous, and I'm thinking, I could wear one of those. Yeah. You brought your art sketchbook down. Lady Colin Campbell. She was on I'm a Celebrity or something. Was she on? She's nobility. She's always criticising the royals, Harry in particular. She does a channel nearly every day. But she's really funny. But she has some gorgeous jewellery on. Oh gosh. You can tell she's got money. But I liked her headband today. Yeah, she's very anti-Harry. She never used to be, but she is now. Mm. She says things about Meghan and then she'll say, go on, sue me, I'll see you in court. It makes me laugh because I'm thinking, I wonder if she ever watches, if somebody ever says to her, this is what she said about you today. But yeah, I watch weird programs. I was watching one on the other day. We were talking about this street like in London with all these jewellers in, and you know, a woman went in there and she was buying, I think they were emerald earrings with stones round them and a ring, £38,000. And she goes, oh yes, that's well worth it. I do like them. I think I'll take them. And I'm like, and then there was an ex-politician there with a little china birdie thing, whatever, porcelain bird in white it was, and he was paying, I think it was 18,000 to 20,000 for this little bird thing. And I'm like, oh, really? You know, you're mentally thinking what you could buy with 38,000 or 18,000, and it wouldn't be a porcelain bird. You know, I'll be thinking, my God, 38,000, I could go on a world cruise with that. Oh, De Beers, oh God, would they let you in? I can remember when I was going to Harrods when I went down to London. I'd be only in my 20s. And I was a bit bohemian, you know, with the weirdy dresses and stuff. And I didn't think this, you know, bloke at the door was going to let me in, actually. He had this livery on, you know, of Harrods doorway, and he sort of looked down his nose at me as if say, what are you doing in here, you know? I did buy a sandwich, by the way. I bought a sandwich. And I bought my mum a mink brooch with a flower in the middle. Cost me an arm and a leg. The sandwich, I'm going back, I was in the 60s, it was in the 60s or something. This sandwich cost me about £3.50. Back then, it was a nice sandwich, but blimey. And it come in a little bag, and oh gosh. I think I just wanted the Harrod back, you know. A little green bag with Harrods written on it. Yeah, with a sandwich in it. And I went in Hamleys, you know, the toy shop in Hamleys. My baby was then, he's 55 now. He was about 2 at the time. And, you know, the cars and the things that were there. You scared an Arab. Yeah. No, I didn't buy anything in Harrods. Not Harrods, Hamleys. My son said to me, did you buy me a toy, Mummy? No. Couldn't have afforded a dinky toy. I don't think they did dinky toys in Hamleys. Those great huge teddies that are bigger than a person. Thousands of pounds they were back in the 60s. And they had all these cars, you know, remote control cars and that were more money than I paid for a real car, you know. And I'm like, oh my God, who buys them? Yeah. Well, maybe we have that effect on people, Tracy. We were just talking before about I was getting the nutter on the bus, you know. Maybe it's the way we look at them, you know. Ooh. She's a bit weird, yeah. Yeah. I think the security guard at Harrods looked at me like that, you know, like, are you in the right shop, madam? You know, he didn't quite bar the door, but I think he felt like doing it, yeah. Yeah, I've got an invisible sign saying, nutters, come and talk to me, yeah. My ex-husband used to say, you keep smiling at them, that's your trouble. You invite them to come and talk to you because you smile. I said, I'm only being polite, you know. He had that face, you know, don't talk to me. My ex-boyfriend used to say, I can't go to the toilet. You know, when we went out for a drink in the pub, I can't go to the toilet because when I come back, he's talking to somebody, yeah. I said, I don't talk to them, they talk to me. And he kept saying, yeah, right, well, you don't have to talk back, do you? Yeah, he used to say, I'm going to the loo now, let's see who you're talking to when I get back. I used to put my head down and pretend, you know, like I'm not, you know, but they still came and talked to me. I can do that in the hospital, we were just saying that before. I can be crocheting, knitting, I can be reading a book, and they still come and talk to me in the hospital, you know. Oh, dear. We just, yeah. My son says that to me as well. Why do you have to talk to everybody? I said, I'm being polite. You know. Yeah. It's like the nutter in the fish shop. Went to the fish and chip shop on Tracy, and this guy came in with a full-length cape with like a red lining, I think it had. And he had like a witch's hat on, but it was like something out of Harry Potter. It went round and round and round, and it like bent at the top. And you try not to stare, don't you? You know, but you're like, is he real? Has he really come out wearing that? At first I thought it was a rain cape because it was raining, but then I realised, no, it wasn't. It was just a cape. Oh, hey, you're late tonight anyway, Tracy. Can you not sleep again? I went up the Great Orme. You did a live, you're not tired, yeah. I went up the Great Orme in Llandudno, and we got stuck at the top because we didn't realise that the cable car thing stopped for lunch. So we were stuck at the top for about an hour or something. And one of my customers was up the top of there. Hey, Janet, what are you doing up here? My ex-husband said, can you not go anywhere without somebody knows you? But when you have 3 shops, you know, and people used to come in every day to buy wool, you know, and stuff, they know you. And they think you know them, which you don't because you've like maybe served 100 customers that day. So you don't remember them, but they remember you. So you have to be polite and say, oh, hiya, how are you doing? And my ex is going, who the hell is that? And I'm saying, I haven't got a clue. And he'll say, well, you're very friendly with them. I said, well, they obviously know me. You know, so you just be polite, don't you? And you answer them back, you know. Yeah, I can't do my knitting. I tried doing a bit of knitting today, and I can't. I can't do my crochet. Got my strap on. It's not painful at the minute, but my finger ends are dead. But at least the pain's gone, actually. I've just got pain down my thumb. I think actually my cabinet, oh, that way. It's Denby Green Wheat is all the pottery on that side. That side's got my mum's crystal, silver, crystal and silver. And then further down, it's got my booze from Christmas. Yeah, it's all Denby Green Wheat. And all the top row, the 2 little dogs from the black and white whiskey, they're about as old as me. Yeah, you can see my bottles from Christmas. If I closed the door, you would actually see a lot more. I don't really drink, but I just like them. And if I put them in the general room, then it would get drunk by everybody. I thought I had got Raynaud's. I told everybody I had Raynaud's, but apparently I don't have Raynaud's. It's just that my nerves are being trapped in my carpal tunnel, and they're actually trapping further up my arm as well and in my elbow. So I don't know whether this carpal tunnel operation will cure everything. Time will tell. We shall see. I'm not teetotal. I don't drink, but I'm not teetotal, if you understand me. I will have a drink. But it has to be a drink, you know. I'll have I've just got Coke today, roller cola, as Peter Kay would say. If I was having a drink, I would just put a drop of dark rum in my glass and drink cola. But as you can see, there's nothing in my glass, nothing up my sleeve. But yeah, but I don't really. They've been there since. In fact, some of them are from last Christmas, not this Christmas. Yeah. No, I've never been binged. I drank when my marriage was breaking up. I drank way, way, way too much. I drank to block it all out, basically what I was going through at the time. And after that, I just stopped. You know, once the problem had gone, if you know what I'm saying, I stopped drinking. I wasn't drinking because I liked it. I was just drinking to blot out the pain and stuff. But maybe I should drink now to blot out the pain in my hand. Yeah. Oh, the worst thing was Metaxa brandy. We went to Skiathos back in the 80s, and we were on a little 28-foot sailing boats we were on, and we went to the cafe, and for some reason or other, this Greek bloke who was in his 50s, I'd be in my 30s, took a fancy to me, and he was buying me Metaxa brandies, and I was absolutely trolling. How I got back on the boat, I don't know, because you had to step over to get on the boat. Oh my God, I was so ill. And there was two gay boys next to us on the next boat. And apparently I was throwing up all night long. And I woke up and I was stark naked. All these fishermen were like fishing off the end of the pier, looking at my bed. Yeah. And these two gay lads from next boat said, "We did try to cover you up, but you insisted you wanted to be naked," which is not me at all. Yeah. No, I've never been in AA, but I was putting away a bottle of dark rum a day, a full bottle of dark rum a day. And I drank that for 2 years. Not proud of it, but that's what I did. I've ruined my kidneys. I've only got 43% kidney function through my drinking. So it's not funny, but I don't advocate anybody to drink. But that's damaged me. My liver recovered, but my kidneys didn't. Yeah. But they keep saying to me, "Oh, you're diabetic. You see, you've got this, your kidney function." And I'm like, "It's got nothing to do with my diabetes. It's because of the drinking." Oh. I said, "I've had 40 odd percent. Janet. No, my mum used to call me Lady Jane. When I was getting a bit above myself, it was Lady Jane. Or when I was really naughty, Janet Elizabeth Buckley. Woo! Then you were really in trouble. Yeah, Lady Jane. Who do you think you are, Lady Jane? You're getting a bit above yourself, you are. I'll bring you down a peg or two. Did your mum used to say that? I'll bring you down a peg or two. You're getting too uppity. Yeah, Lady Jane. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't get above. Oh, you're too big for your boots. Yeah, I used to get that. Yeah. Yeah, if I got Janet Elizabeth, or especially Janet Elizabeth Buckley, because that was my maiden name, then I knew I was in trouble. Mm-hmm. Oh, dear. I wanted to be Eliza Jane. I actually did. My mum. I wanted to swap it round and be Eliza Jane. But my mum said, "You're not being called that because people will call you Lizzie." Oh, my mum talks to me all the time, Dolly. Yeah. You know, I can never, anything I make, I can never say, "Oh, look at this, isn't it gorgeous?" I can't do it because my mum is in my ear. She'll say, "Self-praise is no recommendation. Stop blowing your own trumpet." So when I see these girls, come on these videos and they go, "Oh, look at this. Isn't she lovely?" Where's she come from? Why do they call sweaters she? Isn't she lovely? And I can't do that. People say, "Oh, that's nice." And I go, "Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?" Or, "It's looking nice, isn't it? I like this. Quite like this pattern." But I never say, "Oh, isn't this gorgeous I've just made? Isn't it fantastic? Isn't it beautiful?" I can't do it. My mother's there. Earworm. Who do you think you are? not that fantastic. You're not that great. Sorry, Mum, she's still there, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I can't get why they call sweaters she. I've made this sweater, isn't she lovely? I'm like, no, it's an it. It's a sweater. It's not a female, is it? It's not a she. It's only Americans that seem to do it, that call it a she. You know, I just can't get it. And the one thing that bugs me at the moment is I cannot watch when they have a microphone as big as this and they have it in front of the face and they're talking like that. And then they put it down and the sound is exactly the same. So they don't need it up here. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why are they like big lollipops, aren't they? Black fuzzy things sticking in front of the mouth. Oh, they want to show off, don't they? Yeah. When they say you've got a lovely sweater on, and they go, this cardigan. Yeah. Or when you're Googling something, especially on Etsy, and you've got a cardigan pattern, you get all these sweaters. And you're like, or do you mean a sweater? Or you put a sweater in and you get cardigans and jackets and everything. And I'm like, no. And especially on Etsy, if you put crochet cardigan patterns in, you get knitted ones. It's like, somebody doesn't know the difference between. And I'm like, oh, no. If I want a crochet pattern, I want a crochet pattern. I don't want to see all these knitted ones as well. I'm asking you for crocheting. The one thing I hate, wife beater. Why do they say they're wearing a wife beater? That makes me cringe. Oh, it's a certain section in the US that call the little vesty things a wife beater. That makes me cringe. Cringe in an ad. Oh, quite that stupid one for celebrations chocolates. When they go, wee, wee, wee. I can't stick it. Or that other one that where they say, oh, how much did you pay for that house? And they said, I was just wondering. Well, it's not the house, is it? It's the memories, isn't it? That's what I always say. And I'm like, oh. Oh, yeah, UK, yeah. Makes me cringe. The Celebrations chocolates advert where those two Asian men are going, whoop, 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 whoop. And the one for the, how much did that house cost? How much did you pay for this? Oh, man, it's not, you shouldn't ask that, should you? It's not the house, is it? It's the memories. Yeah. I have to mute them. Oh, and the Thornton's chocolate one gets me. She goes, these chocolates, and she goes, oh, my favourite. And so she goes, shall we open them now? And I'm thinking, no, you've brought them as a present. Why would she want to open them and give them to you when you've brought it as a present? Yeah. That really annoys me. Oh, wife beater makes me cringe, yeah. When they call the vests in America, they call them wife beaters. Oh, the one for, yeah, IKEA or IKEA, where he shows you around the house and he shows you all these different bags, one yellow one and all these blue ones. Ugh. So they're so annoying. And the annoying ones always come on all the time, don't they? The ones that aren't so bad, you don't see them very often. But the really cringy, horrible, awful ones. Yeah, freckles, yeah. He's showing you around his IKEA house or his IKEA house, yeah. This is the bed that grows, yeah, with the child. This is, oh, God, yeah. Every 5 minutes they come on, don't they? You're like, oh. I didn't like that M&S one, you know, one that they were setting fire to everything. It's like a tank top undershirt. Yeah, that's what I mean is, why do they call them that? It's a horrible name. Do they actually beat up their wives? Is that why they call that? Yeah, it's a vest, isn't it? Yeah. I can't get this new fashion where they call them a bolero, and it's like a set of sleeves, isn't it? I mean, to me, a bolero is one of those with, you know, shaped sides and little sleeves. That's a bolero. Those like sleeve, I can't get the fashion for that. They stop over your bust, don't they? You know, they don't even cover your boobs, do they? They come across like a set of sleeves. And I'm thinking, what is the point? What's the point of them? Yeah, they're like arm warmers with a bit that goes across, aren't they? Why do they call it a bolero or a shrug? Huh? 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 Oh, no, Rosie's on the prowl. I don't know why. She probably wants to go to bed. She wants a stick thing. Stick. She wants a stick. They get a dental stick before they go to bed. So, well, I'm not looking forward to sleeping with that daft dog again. Oh, is it tomorrow yet? They're not coming home till tea time tomorrow. Yeah. What's she doing? What are you doing, Rosie? Oh, she wasn't having a wee then. Well, it's not a shrug, is it? It's not a bolero. Linked sleeves. It's not a crop top, is it? Because it doesn't even come down to your bust. It just goes across. It is like an arm warmer that's linked together, isn't it? I mean, what is the point of them? They're like, yeah, they are. They're like linked sleeves. They're not a bolero. They're not a shrug. An army gun. Yeah, there's something like that. They're weird fashions. Weird, weird, weird. I watched a video the other day. This young girl had knitted this tube thing on one of them Centro knitting machines. I mean, it did look nice, but it was obviously for somebody really, really teeny. She admitted she couldn't try it on because it was too small for her. But then she crocheted these like wing things. They were like open wing things. And she goes, and they had a little loop thing that went round her finger, and they were all like mesh stuff. And then she'd sewn all sequins and beads on them. And I'm like, what's that for, cosplay? Or, you know, you couldn't actually wear it anywhere, could you? You know, I mean, it wouldn't look anything unless you were stood there with your arms out, would it? Because if you had your arms down, it'd be just like a string bag hanging off each arm. Oh, they have some weird fashions. Some weird, weird fashions, yeah. I mean, it was very pretty. The top was pretty without these silly sleeves, yeah? Or wings, as she called them. I was waiting for her to put it on, but she admitted she couldn't fit in it. She said she needed somebody tiny to model it. I thought you need somebody tiny if you want to sell it, to buy it, yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah. It's like watching them, what do you call it, adverts, isn't it? Asda Walmart adverts. And you think, surely people don't go in Asda Walmart looking like that. Surely they don't. But they must do, obviously, because there's photographs in there. And, you know, you see some of them. You're thinking, nope. Yeah. But it's like that blanket yarn. I can't understand why people would want to crochet a pair of shorts in blanket yarn. I think it looks good, you know? I'm like, you'd have to be like Twiggy, wouldn't you, to put them on? If you had a bit of junk in your trunk, as they say, what would you look like with a pair of blanket yarn shorts on? Crochet. Because crochet makes it's thicker. Like a chenille stuff. They call it blanket yarn, don't they? It's like a fluffy chenille stuff. Really thick. Yeah, I think you've got something similar that you make blankets with. I've seen it in your shop. And they make crocheted shorts out of them on a little tanky top. And I'm like, you wouldn't want to wear thick shorts, would you? We couldn't get your legs together. I fancy some black when I start knitting again. Some black, like furry wool to make like a. Oh, yeah, you are, aren't you, Val? Yeah. Will you be back for Wednesday, Val? Will you be back Wednesday after you're visiting your sister? I'm only cadging because I might need a lift if I haven't got my tyres sorted out. That's all, Val. I might have to sit on Alice's knee because I'm not going on that scooter if the blooming tyres are still shredded. I'm going to ring him Monday, see if I can get any sense out of him. See if he'll bring me a loan scooter. Yeah. Okie dokie. Bye, Val. Enjoy your weekend with your sister. Yeah. Yeah, these shorts are made out of that very thick blankety yarn. Yeah, bye. Andy is waving goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I'll have to go soon as well. It's 25 minutes past the witching hour, isn't it? These dogs are giving me dirty looks now. They want the dental stick. Yeah. So I must put these balls of wool away. Otherwise, when I get up in the morning, they'll be all round the house and round the garden. Rosie does love a ball of wool. Oh my goodness, you can't tell what she does. She's worse than a spider when she's done with my ball of wool. It's like all around the house, yeah. And she looks at me like, aren't I clever? Look what I've done, Grandma. Right. Well, I did all of 2 rows, didn't I, today? 2 rows of knitting I did. Still better than nothing, isn't it? If you want to know what I was trying to knit, I'll try and show you if I can open the pattern with one hand. I've made it before, many times in dark colours. But I'm trying to do it in pastel colours because that's what I've got the oddments in. And I cannot open it because my fingers aren't working. I'm doing the bottom one, that one there. I've done it in all those dark colours and it looks gorgeous. But not everybody wants their babies dressed in such dark colours. So I'm using white, lilac, lemon, pink, blue, and a pale green is what I'm using. If I can ever get my fingers to work. But so far, all I've done is that. It will be a front when it's finished. But that's all I've done. That's all I've done. All I've done. Oh. That's the green. It looks a bit grey, doesn't it? But it's actually very eucalyptus-y green. My camera changes the colours of everything. Yeah, it's Cinderella time. I've just got one more ball of wool to pick up. before Rosie decorates the floor with it. Got a ball of lemon to pick up. So it's blue, lilac-y pink, lilac, white, and that pale green it'll be. I'd much prefer it in darker colours, but I haven't got oddments in that. So it's used up the oddments, and I did think I might have been able to knit. But sadly, it didn't work out that way, did it? So thank you all for your time, and I will see you all very soon. I'll try and think of something to say on a video. It's difficult when you've not bought anything new and you've not got anything to show. It's difficult to waffle on for half an hour, you know, saying nothing in particular, you know what I mean? I'll do my best to make a video in the week anyway. Maybe I'll update you if I get the scooter man to come and rescue me. Rescue me. Right, people, I'm going to go now. So thank you very much for your time, and I will speak to you all very, very soon, hopefully. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.